Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and you are watching the Popcast. And for the first time in 3 years, I am saying literally just the Popcast and not the Popcast Unleashed because you are on the Prime channel. And this is a very special day for us. We are finally celebrating our 100K subscribers. We're going to go through our past videos and we're going to give you the full show.
Not faux show.
Faux show. The full show for show. And, listen, if you're not a member, usually the second half of the show, you miss out on. But today, everyone's getting the whole show, the whole 4 hours. It's coming hot. And we're gonna address the chat real quick. But first, let me just tell you exactly what we are doing, and then I'm going to let Shane take it away. We are going to be discussing our latest video and some updates on the whole Amazon Stargate thing. Additionally, we're going to be talking about the news around the Orville being renewed or not, and that last video, and Quantum Leap. What's up with Sam Beckett? Where's he at? Shane has a lot more information on that. And in the second half of the show, we're talking about how Strange New Worlds killed Hemmeroff for seemingly no reason because, you know, the replacement is not great. Star Wars Andor trailer, Quantum Leap trailer, Secret Invasion trailer. It's trailers galore today. Indiana Jones at D23. Henry Cavill is probably back as Superman. I know we talk about this every single week. At this point, it's a meme, but I'm telling you, it's news every week. We're going to do our She-Hulk Quickie review just for fun. And a brand new segment we're calling The Weekly Terry.
Here's the deal, boys.
Shane, take it away.
All right. Boss. Yeah, so guys, thank you all for being here, guys and gals, all of you for supporting us. I was talking to a guy the other day, 85 years old, really into like geography and stuff like that and like rocks. And he told me, he goes, tell me a little bit about this thing you do, this podcasting thing you do. And I'd like to give it a try. So let me just thank you. There are so many options out there. Everybody's got a podcast these days. Everybody's got a show.
Everyone's got a podcast.
So let me thank you. Let Brian and I thank you for making it possible for us to do this all the time. We started on this journey, I think 8 or 9 years ago. Brian was running a radio studio, podcast studio called Raw Rant. I was retired from the Navy as a radio guy and a TV guy, and we came together, and now we have the Popcast, and we can't do this without you guys. So 100,000 subscribers is huge. You can see the silver play button over my shoulder here, and Brian's behind him.
Disclaimer, by the way, don't go look up Raw Rant. That was a rough time in my life. I was very angry. And apparently a lot of other people were, because we had a ridiculous amount of listeners at one point. And I think Shane was like, okay, how are you going to keep that going? Because it sounds really angry. And
well, you were before your time. It was really, I mean, you had no idea that if you just waited a few years, it would have lined up perfectly with what's going on.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Now everyone's rage. I was doing rage before rage was cool.
Right. So we just wanted to thank you. So 100,000 subscribers. It's all because you guys watched us and over all these years. And so I also want to give a huge shout out to Brian really quick before we get rolling, because to be honest with you guys, all of this doesn't happen without him. He is the reason why everything looks so good, sounds so good. He works his fingers to the bone every single video show, and just he's the best. And I'm so glad to do it. So thank you. You deserve all the accolades.
All right.
That's a pretty up thing to say to me.
Nice.
All right. All right, man. No, I appreciate it, Shane. You are even more important than I am. I'll tell you why. I might do all the technical stuff. But let's be real. The reason we got to 100K, besides the amazing support, was because of your buttery soft voice.
That maybe got 100 people to subscribe, but the rest is all the way it looks.
Imagine if I was doing the voice instead. I'm like, okay, so this week on Quantum Leap. I sound like a 70-year-old smoker that is also doing meth. Like,
oh, well.
It's not good. It's not good.
I got some visuals there.
All right, well, we got some people in the chat. We got Orville Nation. What's up, brother? Orchmage, Frey, Chris Rezoloff, Jeremy Snyder. And that's it. That's all I'm seeing talking right now. But as they come in, we will address you guys. Oh,
Yes,
and also,
appreciate
if you're new, if you're seeing this for the first time, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe. Just hit it real quick. Hit this, and and if you're already here and you like it, hit the like button too. Let's get this thing served out. Again, we haven't actually streamed on this channel since February 2009. I'm sorry, 2019. So it's been a long time. Pretty sure it was February or June. Maybe it was June.
Yeah, it was June. So I think we just went over 3 years. We just went over 3 years, and we were doing, I think, pickle parties up until then for the Orville.
Yeah,
that's how long it was, and we decided to go over. So if you do like this format, if you say, "Wow, I didn't know these guys actually spoke," they just do these documentary style videos about news and stuff going on. If you like this format today, then head over to the Popcast Unleashed. That's where we typically do these shows, and we're also going to be unveiling a few new things. And I guess we can do that now because we are even on Unleashed. We do some stuff, but Unleashed is going to be mostly our Star Trek channel where we do cover a lot of that stuff, a lot of the science fiction over stuff. But we've also created these new channels where our content is going to be going to as well. So if you like any of these types of things, you can go watch us and subscribe to these. If you want.
Yeah, let me introduce them real quick. So what we did was we decided we want to work extra hard. Like if we're already working hard, we want to work like triple. No, 5 times as hard. So we decided that we were going to talk about some things that we liked. And, Shay and I both really like mysteries, unsolved and, odd stuff like that. I don't have a stinger for that, but I can show them the channel. And then we also did, well, you know what? I like comic book stuff like DC, Marvel. So can we do that? And he's like, well, yeah, as long as we could do Star Wars. And I'm like, okay. So if we do 2, how about, what else do you want? He's like, I want fantasy. So what we did was we launched Fantasy Unleashed.
I love these logos.
Yep, we watched Fantasy Unleashed. We soft booted it. It's there's a couple things up already. We're going to be uploading to that weekly.
Yeah, right now you can get House of the Dragon reviews, Rings of Power stuff. All that's going to go there.
And then also, we made 2 Star Wars videos on this main channel. And the first one didn't do well. The second one did better, but it took a long time. And the third one was so bad that it's the only video I think we've ever actually deleted. So we decided we want to continue doing Star Wars stuff, but clearly the audience on this channel does not like it. So Star Wars Unleashed.
Sexy Princess Leia.
I am such a sexy Princess Leia. And again, I'm gonna put all of these channel links in the description. I haven't put it in there yet, but they will be there. And then for all the superhero, all the cape boys out there and girls, we are doing DC Unleashed. Yeah. And Marvel Unleashed.
Sexy.
And then for the mystery stuff, again, I forgot to load the stinger for that. I feel like an idiot. But we will also put the link in the description for the Mysteries channel. So our new network is we're doing Mysteries Unleashed, Marvel Unleashed, DC Unleashed, Fantasy Unleashed, Star Wars Unleashed, and we have a channel that we haven't done anything but the koala video on yet. But eventually we're gonna get back to Raw Rant, because the problem with Raw Rant is we wanted to make a channel where we can sort of complain about a lot of things, but then we also didn't want to be like super raging. So what we did was we made one cool video. It got a bunch of views considering that channel had no subscribers, but it's sort of on hold for now until we find things that we can rage about that also won't get us canceled.
Yeah, what's funny is just yesterday I was getting gas, and I was like having this like angry moment because I had to turn off my car at the gas pump. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? That must be like an old wives' tale. We should do a Raw Rant about not turning your car off at the gas pump, right? And then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can blow yourself up. So you need to turn your car off.
Yeah,
that's not gonna make a good video.
Yeah, you can totally blow yourself up.
Not a good Raw Rant video.
Yeah, but Raw Rant will be the final thing. In the cooking channel, Jeremy, thank you. I did make a Food Unleashed channel.
That's going to be all Brian, I think, though.
But I cannot get Shane on board for the Food Unleashed channel.
I'm sorry. There's some things I have to stop. I have to,
So we have other channels we're kicking around, like Gaming Unleashed and that kind of thing, but we're going to focus solely on the stuff that we are consuming right now, and we're going to save that other stuff for when we have an actual staff, because it's almost impossible to do what we're doing as it is. So we're going to try to make sure that we can at least update like 4 or 5 channels before we go crazy with the whole network or whatever.
Yeah, and as of right now, if you guys didn't know, it really is just me and Brian. Occasionally, we've gotten some help from some great people, and we can reach out to them again in the future. But for the most part, everything that happens is just he and I, and we're we also have regular jobs too, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want anyone to do anything for free. So like we want to pay people really well when they work for us or with us, and the problem with that is YouTube doesn't really always pay well, and sponsors don't really always pay well. So when they don't pay well, we can't consistently keep someone, working with us. So it's better for us to sort of get a little bigger before we bring those people back, because we want to make sure they're paid well for their work, because it's hard work.
Yeah, and all of our content needs to be good. You guys need to enjoy it. It's got to be fun. So let's get to the fun stuff today, huh?
Yeah. All right. What do you want to do? What do you want to go through first? You want to do the Stargate update?
Yeah. So just real quick, because the copyright strike thing is coming up, we did get a copyright strike on Unleashed last week, but it looks like it was just kind of a smack on the wrist. Still a bunch of garbage BS from Paramount, CBS. Yeah. So we'll be back on Unleashed, and that's not gonna go away.
I gotta talk about this real quick. Here's how I know that they maliciously copyright struck us, because everyone here knows this. We were running 2 streams. One was going to the members, and one was going to Unleashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the members section got a generic copyright claim that we disputed and went away. The Unleashed the open-facing stream, the public one, got a strike. So someone manually, it wasn't like an automatic thing. Someone manually went to our channel, didn't like the fact that we weren't towing the line or whatever, and hit the strike button. And the strike is good until December. We're fighting it, but we realize that fighting it is almost not worth it, and the issues are only going to last 7 days, so we'll be fine by next week. But I just think it's ridiculous that, again, the automated system gave us a simple claim, but then an actual person decided to give us a hard strike. And I don't think they fully understand, like, you get 3 hard strikes in your channel and you're out. All of your channels are out. All of them they just disappear.
Yeah, and by the way, CBS CID, if you're watching this and monitoring us now, just note that you may be anonymous and all that stuff back there, but, everybody's still people, so do the right thing. Stop being jerks.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Anyway, so let's get on to the fun stuff today. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to offer, since we're going to do a live show here, we're going to do the normal stuff later. We're going to talk about all the things that we normally talk about on our live show weekly. But we wanted to focus in on some important stuff. So for everybody who actually comes to the Popcast Prime, this channel, to watch our videos, and thank you to all of you who do, the hundreds and thousands of you guys who do that. We thought it might be nice to go through some of our recent videos, since there's a lot of important industry news and things happening in our favorite franchises that we should be aware of, for the future of science fiction.
Right.
So we thought we would just go through some of these videos that are still out there being viewed right now by you guys, and see if we could talk about a few of them.
Real quick, Archmage just said they're just upset that the podcast has more views than Will Wheaton's Ready Room.
Oh! Sorry. Here's the deal, right?
Here's the deal, boys.
All right.
Enough of the will beating.
I can't help it. Okay, so this is the video that we are talking about in question here. And you know what's crazy? We can actually play this one with sound because we made it.
Because it belongs to us. Nice.
Oh, look at that. So this is the video. This you want to explain the premise of this, just in case they forgot?
Yeah. So basically, if you're waiting for new Stargate, we've been waiting for years for it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but essentially, MGM owns Stargate. MGM was bought by Amazon, and now we've been waiting for Amazon to do something, since Stargate's one of the most important, popular sci-fi franchises of all time, Amazon's not going to sit on it. Now, what happened was the creator of Stargate for television, Brad Wright, was asked to write a script for MGM, and this was pre-COVID, kind of during COVID, that whole time frame. They didn't know what they're going to do with it. Well, we found out, and a lot of people in this video are like, "Oh, you're just guessing. You're just guessing." No, we're not guessing. We found out, confirmed, that Brad Wright has been being ghosted by Amazon and MGM about the script that he wrote, getting no feedback, nothing about moving forward. He made some kind of squirrely comment on the companion app during the 25th anniversary show podcast about, "Oh, my script will probably never see the light of day." And we went, beep, 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 beep. Well, what does that mean? So we reached out some people that we know, like Joe Malazzi and some other people, and we got some confirmations that they had been ghosting him. And so we said, you know what? We're not going to be quiet about it. We're going to do a video. We're going to explain, talk about what's happening so that everybody else can be aware of it. Because the reality is that as fans, if we don't speak up and we don't keep our voices active, then these studios and people who don't really, who only listen to money and views, they're not going to do anything if we don't say something.
Right.
So, of course, Brian, we have the .org site, so you can go sign the petition.
Yep.
Right?
Savethegate.org. Right now we have 35,922 signatures. So let's keep it going.
Yeah, and so Joe Malazzi came out after our video and said, he did a blog on this, basically kind of confirming it and saying, that this is happening. I mean, what's the best thing for Stargate? What are we all complaining about? They keep rebooting these franchises. They don't go with, they're not using a lot of the original canon when, especially like in Star Trek and a lot of the things we're watching now with Quantum Leap. And so we don't want that to happen with Stargate. So when we heard that Brad was writing the pilot script for a new series, everybody got excited because it's like, okay, he's the creator. He's going to continue the vision. Right. So the fact that Amazon might be ghosting him, or that Amazon is ghosting him, they may be considering rebooting the franchise altogether and starting something new. Anything you hear about the movies is not true.
Oh,
I know there's some people out there reporting that they're going to get ready to do the movie. They're going to bring back Kurt Russell. All that. None of that's true.
Yeah, just to be clear. Also, anytime you read something on Giant Freaking Robot, it's untrue. So
yeah, or we got this, or we got this covered.
Yeah,
I think
they are not doing the movies. The movies are completely dead.
Right. So it's not happening. It will be a Stargate series, streaming service, just like Rings of Power, just like Wheel of Time, The Expanse. In that way, it'll be one of those types of shows. Just because they're ghosting Brad right now, it might not mean anything, but it's not a good sign. According to everybody we've talked to, according to Joe, it's just not a good sign that they're not talking to him. And if we go back to the Rings of Power, about 5 years ago when they were starting this, they reached out to Peter Jackson, of course, who was the director of the movies for the Lord of the Rings, and said, "Hey, we would like you to be involved in creating the show with us." And Peter Jackson was like, "Yeah, I'm down. Send me the scripts." Well, Amazon never got back to him again. And the next thing we know, we've got these first-time showrunners creating a show based on kind of a different vision than what we all expected it to be for Rings of Power.
Right.
With different characters, and it just didn't have that Peter Jackson flair that we kind of were used to. So we're afraid that that's what's happening. And so we'd like everybody to lend their voices. And if you do tweet, and if you're a fan of Stargate, tweet, Brad Wright Stargate, hashtag Brad Wright Stargate, hashtag we want Stargate. And what we're told is that Amazon is closely listening to social media, to YouTube, and they are listening to the fans, listening to see what people want. And hopefully they'll come to make a good decision based on this. And that's why we did this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And Brian had some really great, just a wonderful job editing here, man. I love it. This is like a long dude just staring at the TV. I love it.
Yeah. This was hilarious. When I was editing this, I was editing it and I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to cut this short. I don't want this one guy just staring at the screen for so long. And then I realized that I went to go cut it short, and I realized it was really funny the longer it went. So I just let it keep going.
And if you guys haven't figured it out yet, when we do these videos, if you watch the first 60 seconds or so, Brian kind of edits together some interesting thing that we'll talk about basically what the rest of the video is going to be about. So hopefully, I'm sure most of you guys are catching it, but each week that it does give the flavor of what you're about to see the video be about. And I think you do a really great job of capturing what I've written. So.
Yeah, except for now, I can't get this guy's voice out of my head. Sup, Wonder Bread?
Yo, Wonder Bread.
And of course, you guys know that's from an actual Stargate episode.
Yeah.
And Brian thought it would be a really great representation of new Stargate not done properly, which is kind of what was happening.
Well, because that was when they this episode was about them pitching new ideas, and they were like,
Right.
well, let's just get younger people to do Stargate. And I love the response from Sam
I don't think Mitchell likes me anymore.
and Mitchell and Jackson. They were like, nope. Like, because that's my response. Don't do that. I don't want. Don't CW my Stargate.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and that was so great because you're basically that's all of our response.
Right. Nope.
None of us wants it. I saw a couple of comments that was like, no, we need new Stargate. But okay, like it was 2 of thousands. So
Yeah. Archmage phrase: do the right thing with Stargate. Ooh, I like.
We got a bunch of clever people over here.
So clever.
Love it. Hashtag Brad Stargate.
Yeah, listen, Chris, Travelers is amazing. Thank you, or PJ, I appreciate that. Travelers is actually really good, Chris. I tried to get Shane into it.
I watched it.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
For me, it started off as like really a little slow and cerebral because I got ADD, so I'm like, where's the action, man? I need flashing lights. But the longer I got into the characters, the more I was really into it. And Brad Wright knows how to tell a story. And it's very interesting because if you watch Dark Matter, which is a Joe Malazzi show, and you watch Travelers, which is a Brad Wright show, you can totally see if you took those two styles and merged them, you would get Stargate.
Yeah, they really worked well together. Stargate had some excellent producers.
Yeah.
So let's hope they get back together again, right?
Yes, let's do that.
We're doing everything we can, anyways.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm almost positive someone at Amazon has seen at least one of our videos. Like,
oh, I'm certain they have to.
A few million views on. Like, you had to have seen it by now.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, let's talk about some of our friends here. Favorite topic: the Orville. You ready for this?
Yes, let's talk Orville.
Okay.
Do you have something for us?
Yeah. So the video in question, this came out before the Stargate video, and it was renewing the Orville for season 4. And basically, we're going now that everything is done and said. What's the odds of it coming back for a 4th? And you broke it down really nice here. But there have been some developments even since this video came out. And if I'm being honest, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Shane, I don't think it's looking very good for season 4. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just saying from years of experience viewing and watching, and listen, I've been on so many campaigns trying to get things renewed, Jericho and Stargate. I've done those things, and I don't know if Orville, if it ever does come back. If I had to put money on it, I would say it'd be coming back years from now and probably a different crew.
Yeah, so the official word, of course, okay, so in this video, we basically break it down what we think is going to happen or what we think needs to happen in order for it to work out. So, of course, as soon as the Orville ended on Hulu, it went straight to Disney+. And we explained that the reason that happened that way was because they actively wanted to see if the Orville is wanted by large quantities of people. And Disney Plus is such a bigger platform that they wanted to be able to crunch those numbers. So it kind of became like a numbers watch. And we go through this video and explain kind of the daily. We're able to track the daily views on Disney Plus, and actually is doing pretty darn good. So because no other shows had done that before, it kind of let us know that this was a way for Disney to find out if they really wanted to spend the money and time to do a season 4. Seth has a lot of things going on, as this video talks about. He's got a whole deal over at NBC. He's said over and over again he'd happily keep on doing the Orville, but he does have a lot of other commitments. So the latest official word that I have, and this is talking to some people behind the scenes. I don't want to dime anybody out, but you guys know we talked to Tom Constantino, we talked to other people, and essentially there's still a chance that season 4 can be renewed, but we won't know anything for a few months. And that's something I heard recently. So I think what's waiting to happen is I think Disney is waiting to kind of collate all the numbers to find out if the show has some sort of staying power on their streaming service. Like, does it get consistent views, over the next several months? Also, what is the response going to be at the Saturn Awards? Is the Orville going to win some awards for being, and they're up against, Strange New Worlds, they're up against The Expanse, they're up against some really great shows, one of the Apple shows. And can they win? I think that will have something to do with it as well. So I think Disney's kind of waiting. So I know what you're saying. It feels like it's not going to happen. They ended season 3 in a way that you could easily end the series. Like, there's no real unanswered questions at this point, not deep ones, right?
Right.
We dealt with the Kalons and what happened with that situation. There's nothing left. There's no, like, you get to the end of a show and go, wait a sec, you can't end it. We don't have the answers yet. So maybe that's part of the reason why we're not hearing such huge fan backlash right now from everybody.
Right.
Is because it kind of ended that way. But if Disney feels like they're going to get a ton of views and there's an audience for this, then they could renew it. We just may not know until October or November.
Interesting. And if you had to put money on a renewal, where would your money go? Pragmatically.
I don't like destroying hope.
I'm not saying destroy hope. I'm saying
I know.
If
I had to bet, if I had to really put my money on it and bet, I would say that the odds are pretty long. But
interesting.
I don't think it's not going to happen yet. I don't think the decision has really been made. But anything can happen in this business, and that's what's amazing about it. Like, literally, one person can talk to another person. Enough powerful people behind the scenes go, I really love that show. Did you know they have a ton of fans? And, does Seth really want to do it? Yeah, he really still wants to do it. I don't know how he's going to make the time to do it, but he still wants to do it. But I can also see that he left everything on the table and that he really gave everything to Orville season 3. And maybe he feels like he's done it. Maybe he feels like he said what he needs to say.
Yeah, I think he definitely shot the 3-pointer.
Yeah, and he hit it. He nailed it. So and there were some things that were different about it, and I know there are fans who aren't as happy because of some of the messaging and I think because Seth put so much into producing and creating this season of the Orville, I don't think he put enough into Ed, and I think Ed became kind of like a shadow of what the character previously been. And I think that took away from the show. We used to say, well, you give or take Ed, but the reality is he was really integral to the show.
Right.
And I got to tell you, at the end of season 2, the whole Ed and Kelly thing was never really dealt with.
Right.
And going through season 3, it was never dealt with. It was never even addressed. There was never even a sidelong glance between the two. It was like season 2 was supposed to close the door on it, but it never really did. So I think we missed some of that from season 3 as well.
Yeah. And I said it before during the reviews, I missed the levity. There was episodes that had levity, but there was entire episodes that just had no levity. And in fact, they were sort of downers. And it's okay to have that sometimes, but I felt like it was a lot more prevalent this season than past seasons. We got a super chat from Orville Nation. Notice Seth is keeping many key people busy on other Seth's projects. That's true. But, Chris, you had a question. Most of the cast is booked. Yeah, they're on Seth projects, but they also are booked. They're already getting jobs, and that was very quick.
Yeah. Well, and I think what PJ is saying here is, Seth does keep all of his people close. And so if he wanted to break out and do something Orville quickly, I don't think it would be a problem to do.
Right.
They would find a way to make it work. And most of these actors aren't necessarily doing such high profile things that they wouldn't jump at a chance to do more Orville. So in that respect, I think what he's saying is right.
Yeah, gone are the days of like the golden age of streaming is just not there anymore. We're in a more pragmatic, more fiscally responsible age of streaming. So, a couple years ago, I would have said, I would have told you Disney would just back that dump truck of money back up to Seth's house and say, make it happen. But I think now people are streaming services are being a lot more pragmatic. Look at what HBO Max is doing with David Zaslav just cutting anything that doesn't make money.
Right. And the days of 26 episode seasons are gone. So now, you can do 10 episodes of a show and then go do something else.
That's true.
So you're not as stuck and have to wait for your hiatus to go make a movie, which is the way it used to be.
Right. Yep. You're right. Well, hey, I'm still praying 7 seasons in a movie, whatever that old adage is. Give it to me. Give me 7 seasons in a movie. Why not? Oh, 7 seasons in a wedding. That's right. Was it 6 seasons in a movie?
We got our wedding. That's scary.
It's 6 seasons in a movie, 7 seasons in a wedding. All right. And we already got the wedding. Oh,
yes. That's one thing that makes me a little nervous. Like they had the wedding.
Yeah, that's usually the closer.
It is. And that's but we'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen. As long as people on the inside are saying it's not over yet, it's not over yet.
Okay. All right, next update. We're going to be talking a little bit about Picard Season 3. And don't blow everything, because don't forget, we do have Terry watch. Or, I'm sorry, the weekly Terry.
Oh, we have the weekly Terry to do. Yeah, no, I'm not going to blow everything. That's a good point. No, actually, we have new Terry news. Terry Matalas. If you guys don't know who Terry Matalas is, he has become your latest focus of anger towards Star Trek. I would like to just tell you, Terry Matalas is the showrunner for Picard Season 3. And we have gone publicly to state that based on the fact that Robert Meyer Burnett has seen all of Picard Season 3 and he is a huge critic of New Trek. Huge critic of New Trek. He has no problem saying how much he doesn't like New Trek. And he said, quote, "You're going to love this.
Right.
You're absolutely going to love it. It is the Star Trek you always want." And so I trust that right there. But on top of that, we've had insiders come to us and basically ruin the entire Season 3 for us.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
which is okay because it was still good.
Yeah, let me tell you guys this real quick. There was an insider hit us up months ago and said, "Hey, I got some information about Picard Season 3 if you want the information." And we actually get those messages a lot. So sometimes I ignore them because, they'll be like 50. But this one was like right before our 7 and 9 Borg Queen video dropped. He was like, "Oh, and by the way, you're wrong about 7 and 9 Borg Queen." I'm like, how does this guy know? And he was right. So yeah. I responded to him and I was like, "Oh, hey man, we get a lot of these messages. I'm down to hear you out, but like, you got any proof?"
Right. Yeah.
And that was the wrong thing to say and the right thing, because then he flooded my inbox with nothing but spoilers.
Which is okay, because if you're an insider, we don't mind being spoiled because we can figure out what's best to tell you guys. And we can also verify things without giving it away. We're not going to spoil Picard Season 3 for you.
No.
But the reason we're going to talk about this, one of our recent videos was Picard's son. So we did sort of spoil that, even though everybody watching the video is like, "These guys don't know. They're just guessing." I'm like, okay, well, okay. If you want to believe that, that's fine. But it wasn't us that really let it out of the bag, let the cat out of the bag. It was somebody else who gave away the actor and kind of the situation.
Right. Yeah, the reason we felt like it was completely fine to make this video was because we weren't revealing the information for the first time. It was already out there. People had already spoiled this.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen that video, it's actually a great video, and it breaks down why we believe, and we don't know all of the specifics of it. We want to have some fantasy when we watch the show. But it's a great video. And it breaks down, exactly who we know is going to be Picard's son, and kind of the situation around it. So if you want to see that, you can go check that out. But let me just say something here on the behalf of Terry Matalas. Okay, so we talked to Terry, and Terry's a great guy. Terry's one of us. He's a nerd. He's a geek.
Yeah.
He is. He geeks out and loves this stuff the same way we do. He originally worked on Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Enterprise. He was a page, then he was an assistant, production assistant. He's wonderful, and he did 12 Monkeys. He's done lots of stuff, and he's just a dude. He's a guy.
Yeah, everything he's done, everything he's worked on, I love. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he's doing something rare. Is he's actually engaging Twitter, and he's putting stuff out there, and he is communicating with fans, and it's dangerous for him because the fans don't have a target. You don't have anybody at Star Trek willing to listen to any of the fans say anything. So whether it's Kurtzman or any of the actors, they're not engaging fans on Twitter. But because Terry he's become kind of this face of Twitter, and a lot of the angry people who are mad about Star Trek and what New Trek has done in the first couple seasons of Picard, they have a tendency to take that frustration and anger out on him.
Excuse me, Shane, 1 second.
These things are ruining my childhood. They're taking everything that mattered to me and they're fisting it. Oh, look, hey, look, here, there's more for you.
Kathleen Kennedy. Sorry, go ahead.
So just be aware that this is a really special treat we have because Terry has God love him, he drops little tidbits of really great juicy information on Twitter. But if people keep trolling him constantly, he's going to go away and he's going to stop interacting on Twitter. And we just don't want to see that happen.
I would have gone away a week after I showed up. My God.
Yeah. So,
people stalk his tweet. So first off, he has never said a single thing about Star Trek that we didn't agree with. Everything he said has been optimistic. He's sharing his work. He's sharing his love for the fandom, same as we do. But he's literally stalked by people on social media who are just raging at him no matter what he posts. It's insane, dude. I don't.
Right.
It's honestly, it's downright. It's pathetic. And
yeah.
It's
What it is people are frustrated. People are frustrated about New Trek, and we understand that. And so he's the only person available to yell at. It's but it's not his fault. He really just showed up on the scene, and he's reportedly, and what we believe is he's made something that we're going to love. The old fans are going to love. So, let's not target Terry with your ire and frustration over everything else that's happened in New Trek. He put out that great stuff about the Titan A, the new Titan ship, right?
Right.
And it's gorgeous, but people are taking a big crap on him. It's
so
sending
weird.
stuff telling him how terrible the Titan is and how dare you. And it's come on, guys.
It makes no sense. People complain about how the Titan looked in Picard season 1, where it was all slick and all that, and then he goes and they make an updated version of the ship that also is a throwback to all of our favorite Enterprises.
Right. Yes,
it's a perfect Titan. I can't personally think of a way to make it any better.
Right, and so we're getting to the point now where it's wow, no matter what you do, you can't make people happy. And now that's true. You can make some of the people happy some of the time, but not all the people happy all the time. So I'm just saying, if you're going to say something to somebody, say what you would say to them in person, and not be a troll about it. So we can keep Terry Matalas around talking to us about Picard season 3 and all the other stuff he's got going. He reminds me a lot of James Gunn or Taika Waititi. He's just that kind of guy. Very cool, very with the fans, wants to make people happy, wants to make good stuff.
Yeah.
So
also, he's a massive Back to the Future fan. So, and that's one of my favorite all-time movies. The guy is awesome. The guy's a mensch, man. I don't understand why anybody would have a problem with him. I actually look through. I'm looking for has he said ultra woke crazy?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
They're not mad at him. They're mad at him because he's making Star Trek during the new Trek era. That's
Wow.
it.
That's
why people are mad. And
lowest common
you guys know
denominator
where
right
we
there.
stand on it.
Yeah.
We're going to complain about it if it's bad, and boy, you've heard us do that. We got a copyright strike as a result of it.
Yeah.
But so we're not afraid to say what we mean. So what we're trying to tell you is when Picard comes out in February, you should be giving Terry and Picard season 3 a chance. Now, if after the first few episodes you're like, I still don't like it, then you know what? That's okay. You can then don't watch it and continue to be upset. But we believe the majority of you are going to be happy, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, knowing the story beats that we know, I don't see how it's going to be bad. I'm not saying it's going to be good because I haven't seen it, but like I don't know how it's going to be bad. The story point, it just I don't know. Someone stop talking before I ruin something. Hey, real quick, Archmage Fred says, "Thank you for reminding me of the car battery powered board queen." Yeah, that was rough, dude. Listen, we were there when that happened. I think I did like 15-minute rant about how stupid that was.
You did, yeah.
We complain about it when it's bad. We complain about it. Super chat from Chris: when you talk about the She-Hulk, can you do it for about 15 minutes so I can watch it quick?
That is such a great joke, Chris. I love it. Of course, She-Hulk comes in at a. It feels like it's about 6 minutes long. It came in at 21 minutes this week.
Yeah, but there was a big like buffer in the beginning, like it was like last week.
I took all that out.
Okay,
I took it out. So I give him 21 minutes, but you're right. Yeah, 15 minutes is about all it takes.
Yeah, we got another super chat from Orville Nation. Terry is a good guy. His situation is misunderstood by many, but time will help this. Yeah, I hope so. He's a really good dude. I think
you're right, PJ. When Picard airs in February, and people go, "Oh wow, this is actually really good." It might be too late though. By that time, Terry might be like totally turned off by communicating with fans.
Yeah,
because but just by talking to him, we're getting the understanding of there is some frustration here, and he's not. Kudos to him. He's trying not to put that back out on Twitter, but it's frustrating to get pooped on all the time.
Yeah, the temperature is really like, what is going on? He's like so confused.
Nice.
Jeremy asked, what's longer, the latest episode of She-Hulk or the time it takes to microwave a Hot Pocket? And Chris said, a Hot Pocket if you let it rest.
Hot Pocket's like 2.5 minutes, and it's getting close.
Oh, I love you guys. All right.
That's great.
Ready to talk about Shane's favorite science fiction TV show?
Yes, Quantum Leap, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about some Quantum Leap. What's the new word here? Oh, okay. Let me set this up real quick. You've been talking a lot. So there's a brand new Quantum Leap, and the trailer came out recently. In fact, in the second half of the show, we're gonna review that trailer. We're gonna brave the copyright claim and review that trailer. However, what we do know is that Scott Bakula, like this video is showing you right here, is not in the show, or at least not reportedly in the show. And if you remember our very first Quantum Leap video, we got our hands on the casting sheet, and it was so ridiculous. It was so insanely worded. I remember telling Shane, this has to be a troll. Like someone's trolling us. Like there's no way a show goes that far woke. It's not possible. I honestly thought we were being trolled, and we weren't, which is crazy. We weren't. It was totally legit. We were completely right the whole time, and there's some detractors out there saying that it's possible he comes back as like a guest or whatever. And it is possible, although he is currently also working. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out. Yeah. But Shane, talk to me.
So in 4 days, the new Quantum Leap will air on NBC Peacock. So get ready for that. September 19th.
Yep.
So, but it's going to do it without Scott Bakula. And we had to confirm what happened. We actually had a very long conversation with Scott's agent, who was not in no way minced words and said, no, let me tell you what happened. We were like, okay, well, this is cool.
The guy was like, pull up a chair. I'm going to get some weed.
Okay, he didn't say that, but
No,
okay.
he did say it.
I don't know. He doesn't. He's an older.
He was very
gentleman.
pointed, though.
But he was, and basically he's like, look, Scott for years wanted to reboot the series. He wanted to do it with Donald P. Pellisario, and when push came to shove, NBC didn't want him. And they actually wanted him to do something else. So they did not want Scott Bakula to be. I mean, when I say those words out loud,
I know.
like it makes me want to like put my head through a window.
I know.
I don't understand.
It makes no sense. It's like how can something be hot and cold at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you not want the star of the? Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, even if he's not the main character, why do you not want him involved? You know. And so, anyways, they end up casting Raymond Lee. He's going to be playing Dr. Ben Song.
Fine actor.
Now, Now that's the good thing is that Raymond Lee's actually a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's been in a lot of stuff over the years. Most recently, he was in Top Gun Maverick as one of the officers. He's going to be good in acting wise. The question is what are they going to be talking about? How are the other characters going to be introduced, and what does it mean? Is it possible that if it doesn't do well, that they try to sneak Bakula into some sort of role later in the first season? Yeah, I could see that possibly happening.
Really?
You know, hey, come save us.
You don't think that they've already shot? Wait, is this a pilot, or have they actually already shot the series?
I mean, they've already shot. So they did the pilot. The pilot was approved. Now the series. But could they sneak him in towards the end of the first season, do a reshoot, somehow sneak him into the final episode of the first season to get people interested in coming back for season 2? I mean, the reality is that Dr. Sam Beckett never returned home, is what they said. But as I recall, we've already passed the time with which Quantum Leap happened in the future.
Right.
So he could still come home.
Yeah.
You know?
So my hopeful fan take was, at the end, in the finale of season 1. After we've complained for 8 episodes straight, in the finale, Raymond Lee, he bumps into someone, and that person turns around, and it's Scott Bakula, and he's like, "Oh boy!" and boom, it just ends right there.
That would be so great if that ended the first season that way, and then we went into season 2 with Scott back again, or at least him trying to bring him back, because you got to remember. This show is going back to 1985.
Right.
That's as far back as it's going to go.
Right. So consider this. Like, even if the entire first season was mediocre, that ending would get everyone on board for season 2.
Right. And you're right. And because Dr. Beckett can only travel back and forth on his timeline in his life, 85 is still early enough to catch him.
Right.
So they can have a crossover if they choose to do it. But if you want to see the video, it's trending for us right now. It's actually being viewed a lot. We actually made it 5 months ago, and it's been back and hot lately because of the new show coming out. But it explains that they didn't want him, why they didn't want him, and all the, you can see here Scott's agent. But we are going to give the new show a shot. We're going to watch it. And see if we like it. And we're going to be honest about it. Remember, we don't judge a book by its cover, even though it might smell like crap. It might look like crap, but who knows? The words inside might be beautiful. We'll wait and see.
Right. And you know what? I purposely have not watched the trailer yet. I wanted to get a real reaction. I only saw that little teaser. Remember the teaser I sent you? Yeah. And I was like, what is this garbage?
Yeah.
Shane was like, what is it? I'm like, this is the teaser for Quantum Leap, and he goes, that's not like a fan-made thing. I'm like, no, that's a real thing.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll try to keep it we're trying to stay positive, but it's hard without Scott Bakula. He's Quantum Leap.
Yeah. Again, like, hey man, I hope that happens. I hope that he's at the I really do hope that Raymond Lee's character bumps into some guy and he turns around and it's Scott Bakula and he looks at him, they look at each other and he's like, oh boy, and it ends.
Yeah.
Right there. That would make my that would be worth I would be willing to watch 8 bad episodes to get to that point. Honestly.
Yes, I would too.
I would just consider that all set up. We got another super chat from Orville Nation. Thank you, PJ. Personally think he may be brought in down the road. So like down the road, are you saying like season 2 or?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, he's not in the first season for sure. Unless everybody's blowing smoke up our butt and this is a huge smoke screen and his agent really wasn't, crazy or whatever. Anything's possible, but the problem is Scott Bakula is a pretty straight shooting guy and he's doing a Yellowstone-esque show for NBC. So I don't think it's likely.
Also, real quick, I want you to know, Shane, that when we were fan casting these roles, these insane roles, remember me telling you, what about the guy from Ghostbusters?
Yes, you did. Yeah. And that's who got cast.
And that's who got cast. I literally was like, well, what about the guy from Ghostbusters? And you had a different idea. And you were like, no, this guy makes more sense. I'm like, okay, he does make more sense. But
yeah, I picked Mario Van Peebles.
Yes. And I picked, I can't
Ernie
remember.
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson. Yeah. And I was right.
Man.
I was right. My fan cast was on the money.
You nailed it.
Okay. Next Tuesday pickup party. That's when it is. Is that the day after the show airs? Right.
19th is next Monday, actually.
Yeah. So
yes,
we'll do
Tuesday. Yeah.
We'll probably do a members review. Probably, right?
Definitely. We will be doing. So we will be doing a member section review. Okay. So this is going to be our little pitch for the member section. And listen, we understand that money is tight no matter what we do. No matter what you do, we've made it extraordinarily cheap. It's like $2.99 a month to be a member. And if you're a member and it's on this channel, then you get these kind of conversations. You get all of our reviews, and of course, we're reviewing right now House of the Dragon and Rings of Power. We review it the next day when it comes out on the member stream. So you can catch that there. And everything else we do is a review when it comes around. All the Star Wars stuff, all the Star Trek stuff. It'll be members first. So if you want to catch that, it's $2.99 a month. We appreciate you supporting the show. We love having the members over there. So if you're interested in that, I think, how do they do that, Brian?
There's a join button on the page.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you just hit.
I guess I should have known that.
Yeah, there's a join button. It's right underneath the like and all those other buttons. Which, by the way, if you're here, can you please hit the like button? Yeah, just hit join. And to be honest, that whole what we talked about earlier, like our whole like network of different IPs. So instead of like Stargate and Star Trek, we're gonna do Star Wars and Game of Thrones and Dungeons and Dragons and all this other fun stuff that we personally like. We would not be able to do. We wouldn't be able to even justify the time to do those if there wasn't a member section essentially paying for it, right?
Exactly. So the member section actually makes that possible, and we appreciate you guys helping us out and being members of our channel. Thank you.
I really do. Yeah. So again, hit the join button, become a member. It's really awesome. Okay, the water's warm because Shane keeps peeing in the pool.
That's his favorite saying.
It is. It's my favorite thing to say. Any other videos we missed before we move on to the news?
I mean, there's lots of great stuff there. If you guys like histories, if you're used to watching our stuff, it's all sci-fi. Our latest definitive history is Star Trek Enterprise: The Definitive History. We have another one coming out. We also have a Star Trek movie video coming out, and hopefully this Sunday.
Yeah, we got some insight on Star Trek 4. Yep. Shane just opened some kind of drink really loudly into the microphone. He was like,
"Listen, I am so the worst."
He was like,
everybody's running to their fridge right now to get a soda.
We got some inside information on Star Trek 4. Going boldly where no one is not going anywhere.
It's not going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. But also, so that's coming up next, and then we also have a history coming. And can I tease the history?
Not really, because and the reason why I don't want to tease it is because there's a lot of YouTubers who would try to beat us to the release on that. I don't want to. Unfortunately, there's some bad people out there who would love to take advantage of that, but it is science fiction related, and it's not Star Trek. How about that?
Yes. So we're doing another history, and it's not Star Trek, and we haven't done it We haven't done a history like that before. So
Exactly.
the last one we did was Definitive History of Enterprise. It's very good. Please check it out if you haven't. And we have other histories. Oh, the Untold Story is a really good video too that I don't think a lot of people have watched. It's almost long enough to be a history in its own. So
It is. I mean, I feel like it's a history. It just doesn't say it.
Archmage, I'm not going to tell you who it is, man. I don't want to break it down. I tell you what, in the members section on Tuesday, right? We'll tell you what it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Member section Tuesday. We'll tell you what that.
Oh no,
is.
member section tomorrow. You mean?
No, not tomorrow. Tuesday.
No. What about
Monday?
Whatever the next member section is. I think we're doing.
We are doing something tomorrow, but Monday we're also doing House of the Dragon.
All right.
So
So Monday.
Rings of Power tomorrow.
Yeah, Monday in the member section, we'll tell you what it is.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there is some breaking news really quick, guys. So it looks like Star Wars, the Rogue One sequel has officially been canked. So Star Wars spinoff Rogue Squadron, which was previously planned to be released for Christmas 2023, has been removed from Disney's lineup. And yeah, so unfortunately, the one good movie that's come out since Disney bought Star Wars, they're not going to do the sequel to now. So
real quick, whenever you say the sequel to Rogue One, I'm like, is there a Rogue 2?
Yes, it's called Rogue Squadron, and I don't know.
So, one thing, we actually talked about this about a week ago. Remember, there was going to be a Star Wars versus Star Trek next year, and it was going to be Star Wars Rogue Squadron versus
this movie, right?
Star Trek 4.
Yes.
Let's see. Star Wars Rogue Squadron was actually farther along than Star Trek 4, yet they're canceling it.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I don't know, but they set dates for Snow White, Inside Out 2, and the Lion King sequel. Lion King's getting a sequel. So, I don't know. Maybe a lot of the backlash on Star Wars, maybe it was Patty Jenkins who's supposed to be directing the film. More information is going to come out on that, and we'll probably actually cover it next week for sure and give you all the latest we have on that.
Yeah.
It's just breaking right now.
I bet Kathleen Kenny's behind. She's definitely, yes.
She's definitely behind it.
Super chat from Maria. Thank you, Maria. Money for hugs. Congrats, guys. Much love. Thank you, Maria. We appreciate it.
Oh, love you, Maria. Thank you. Yeah. Always. You can, if you want to smile, just go to Maria's Twitter and you'll always get a smile.
You legitimately will. Yeah, you can't compete with Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, a year later, they still can't compete with Top Gun Maverick. I don't know why I dog so much on Star Wars. I think it's because almost everything has disappointed me pretty much since Rogue One. Yeah. I mean, no, because I was disappointed by Mandalorian until I was forced to watch it, and then I got into it. But that's
episode 7 was okay.
No, okay. So I said since Rogue One, that came out after episode 7.
Oh, you're right. So episode 7 was okay, and then Rogue One was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then it's been, besides The Mandalorian, it's been pretty disappointing.
It's been just massively disappointing. Anyways, I'm sure there's plenty of content for our Star Wars channel. I really hope that channel is not just like a rage channel.
It might end up being that way. We are going to cover the Andor trailer here in a little bit, guys. So if you want to stick around.
Yeah. Okay. What's next? Oh, we're going to be talking about Strange New Worlds next. Unless you want to do Andor first.
No, let's do... Actually, yeah, let's do Andor first.
Might as well. It's a nice
Since we're already
transition.
in Star Wars mode.
We're already in Star Wars mode. Okay. All right, we are talking about Star Wars Andor. We're about to watch and break down the trailer for this new series that actually looks semi-promising. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to turn it way down, try to avoid a copyright claim.
Oh, yeah. We're already going to get it.
Saboteurs.
No, we might not get it.
Assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
Cassian Andor. Don't matter what you tell me or tell yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you remind me where what movie he's from again?
He is from the original. Wait, go back one.
This guy. He's from
Yeah, that's the guy playing. Go ahead.
He's from Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Damn it! Is this a prequel of a prequel?
It is. Yeah.
Son of a.
Oh, I'm sorry you didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Andor is basically it's a prequel to Rogue One, and it leads up to the story of Rogue One.
I am so god awful tired of prequels.
I know, man, but this is the age of the prequel because they don't know what else to do.
It's a prequel of a. It's like Inception. Inception. It's worse. It's like the layers of prequels now. Come on, bro. And we're gonna reward this somehow. Orville Nation chat. Doesn't Orville fit in well as a Disney Trek, as an alternative to Star Wars under the Disney umbrella? Yeah, sure it does. I mean, they gotta come up with the money for that, I think.
Yeah, they got to be willing to pay it, and that's the thing. Is Seth is going to, quickly answer your thing here. Seth is going to want to make some money for another. He's not going to do it for free. So Disney's got to decide whether or not they want to kick down the money for another season, and that's really the big question.
Yeah, so this is a prequel of a prequel, and I don't care how good this trailer is. My mind is already tainted. It's very
No, don't look at it that way. Don't look at it as a prequel of a prequel. Okay. I understand it's events that happened before, but we're not using the same characters. So in Star Wars, so you're not going to have anybody from Star Wars 4. Now, granted, you're going to have some of the people from Rogue One, right? But you have to admit, we didn't know anything about those characters. So we do know what happens to them, and that's a bummer. But we didn't know their stories at all. We don't know where they came from. It's actually a very rich opportunity to explore a part of Star Wars that we aren't familiar with.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. You're not going to be afraid this guy's going to get killed because we know when he does get killed.
Yeah.
Which kind of is a bummer.
Yeah, we know when he gets killed.
But there's a whole story leading up to what happened.
Oh my God, now I know why Forrest Whitaker's in this movie.
Because he was in Rogue One.
Oh, from the creators of Rogue One. Yeah. I figured that much. Oh God. Okay.
And Diego Luna's a good actor. He plays Cassian. And he's a good actor. And we're going to have... Go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, and we're just, I think we're going to see an interesting lead up. And from everything I've seen right now, it's looking pretty good. Look, you see Director Krennic there?
Yeah. I mean, it looks visually beautiful.
The real question is it going to be boring like Obi-Wan? Is it going to have agenda-driven stuff? We had expectations for Obi-Wan. Here's the question for you. Do we have expectations for Andor?
Oh, man, at this point, no. I mean, so Obi-Wan... So Boba Fett was the first of the letdowns for me. It started off okay, then it became a letdown. And I was like, it wasn't such a letdown that I'm completely gone yet. So when Obi-Wan was coming out, you were excited, and your excitement sort of bled off onto me, and I was like, okay, I'm down, I'm excited. And then that was like a total letdown to me. There was a few scenes that were rock steady, but the majority of it was a letdown. So now I'm in this sort of like numb phase where I'm like I have no expectations whatsoever.
Right, but okay, so for Obi-Wan, you've got this expectation of Darth Vader. You've got the Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, meeting each other. You've got Tatooine, and you've got locations. With Andor, I don't feel like we have anything that we need to see or that there's an expectation that has to occur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other than tell the story that leads up to, Rogue One.
So I also don't like this actor.
You don't like him?
I mean, he reminds me of like the discount version of like Pedro Pascal.
That's just because he looks like him that way. Diego Luna is actually a good actor.
All right.
Yeah, he was great in Rogue One.
I'm having a hard time like separating them.
Let's take.
Did they get the original actress back? If you know?
Some of them,
Put you on the
not
spot.
all. He's an original.
Yeah, I do like Forrest Whitaker, but that's because
Forrest Whitaker, and he's got a whole story. Remember, in Forrest Whitaker's story in Rogue One was short.
he was.
He's
yeah.
got a whole build-up. You know, there's a whole thing to explore. And Forrest Whitaker, amazing actor. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, the first guy, the first celebrity I ever met was I joined the military when I was 19, and when I got out of my first year, I came back home, and he was directing a movie in my hometown called The First Daughter, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was in uniform, and my cousin stops. This is a funny story. Sorry to derail this. My cousin stops and he goes, "Oh, what are they doing? They're filming some kind of movie over here. We should check it out." And we pull over and we walk up like everyone else, and someone points to me and says, "You need to be in dressing or whatever." And I'm like, "Me?" He's like, "Come on, man." And they they usher me and my cousin back behind like the sets, and because there were other military people there, he thought I was
I see. Yeah.
one of like the
Because you're in your uniform.
the cast, right? And then when they usher me back there and they walk away, and we're just back there like at the craft service table. We're like, "So dinner?" And we start eating the craft service, and we were walking around like we own the place. I have like a sandwich in one hand and a coffee in the other. I walk into like where they're shooting. I walk up to like Forrest Whitaker. At the time, I didn't know it was Forrest Whitaker. He has his eye in the camera, this giant camera. And I'm just sitting there drinking coffee, eating the sandwich, watching them shoot. What's her name? Oh my God. Tom Cruise's ex-wife. Whatever. Anyways, and I'm like, wow, she looks really hot. I remember thinking she looks really hot. And then Forrest Whitaker turns around and goes, Hey, you mind getting me a coffee too? And I'm like, "Oh, hey, Forrest Whitaker." He goes, "Yeah. Can I get a coffee?" I'm like, Yeah. I spend the next 3 hours as this guy's gopher, just getting him coffee and like running stuff back and forth. I didn't even work there.
That's hilarious.
I was Forrest Whitaker's personal assistant for like 3 hours. And when they wrapped those scenes, I made sure that I was nowhere around so no one would question me while we were there. And my cousin and I just sort of slipped through the crowd, and a really great story. It wasn't Nicole Kidman.
That is a fantastic story. How few people that will ever happen to.
Right. One day, if I ever get to meet Forrest Whitaker, I'm like, "Hey, remember that soldier you kept ordering to get you coffee and liquor and sandwiches and cold cuts?" And boy, the guy can put down some cold cuts, man.
He'd be like, "Which movie?"
Right. Anyways, I have because that moment I've always liked, and I liked his acting. Now every time I see him in something, I'm like, "Oh, I like that guy."
Very cool. I mean, this looks action packed. It looks like there's a lot of interesting things happening here.
I'm sorry, I'm going back here because the costumes are definitely Star Wars: A New Hope style, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to back up one more time. Points for the TIE Fighter.
Looks good.
Points for a TIE Fighter. I like the classic TIE Fighter. No extras here. This is not like the Destructor TIE Fighter or the Interceptor TIE Fighter or the Stealth. No, it's just a TIE Fighter.
Just a TIE Fighter, yeah.
Can we stop trying to upgrade TIE Fighters? They're supposed to be just disposable ships. Let's stop trying to make them like super TIE Fighters. Anyways, That's good. I mean, yeah, it does look good, man. It does look good. I'll give you that.
So Andor is it's a spy thriller. So it's going to be filmed over 2 12-episode seasons. So we definitely have 2 seasons, 12 episodes each happening. And if they're saying it's going to be 2 episodes, that means the entire story they're going to tell is going to last 2 seasons, and it's going to lead up to what the events of Rogue One, I'm assuming. It's an era filled with danger, deception, and intrigue as Cassian embarks on the path that is destined to turn him into a rebel hero.
You know what? I figured out a way I can stop being so pissed off about prequels.
Yeah. Why? How?
watch nothing until it's all come out, and then I can watch it in the chronological order.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't get to cover it. That's true. So Andor will be coming out in 6 days, September 21st. And so make sure you guys are tuned in to Disney Plus if you've got that. And we're going to be covering Andor, and we'll be reviewing it every week when it comes out.
Nice.
So you can follow us on the Star Wars Unleashed channel for all those. Or you can become a member and catch it the day after it happens.
Okay, so the actress that they were shooting with, her name is Katie Holmes. She was married to Tom Cruise.
Oh, your story? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Someone asked me. And it was called First Daughter. And I also met, I wish I would have met Michael Keaton, but he wasn't there. He was in the movie. I met Mark Blucas. Anyways, this guy's one of those like typical teen heartthrobs from like the early 2010s. And he had this giant husky that I swear to God wanted to eat me.
Okay.
And he kept trying to hand the leash to me to like, can you hold my? He's literally, his tail's down, his ears are down. He's looking at me with bared teeth. I'm not touching your dog, bro. Like, he's gonna kill me. Anyways, that's the movie. Okay,
That's great.
all right, that's it. I mean, yeah, the trailer looks good, man. Trailer looks good. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed, please, and hit the like button, my friends. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about some Star Trek.
Yes, Strange New World.
Listen, it's been at least 10 minutes. We haven't said the word Star Trek. Let's bring it up quick.
Oh.
Okay, so we all know that they killed Hemmer off in Strange New Worlds. In the episode about the Gorn, that episode was very disappointing on multiple fronts. I think it was acted well. I think there was parts of it that were good, but the Gorn were definitely, a lot of people had a problem with the Gorn, including me to a degree. And you really had a problem with the Gorn. Like, you were just like the whole time complaining about the
I
Gorn.
couldn't stand it. Hated it.
But then additionally, the character that we liked the most was arbitrarily killed off. And I'm gonna show you a quick scene. Just
Rant of the week.
my bad. That's not the right one.
I was like, Brian's about to get angry.
Yeah. I mean, when they, I hit the wrong button. When they arbitrarily killed off Hemmer in this episode, in this scene I'm going to show you, it was upsetting on multiple fronts because, well, a lot of the characters were really good in Strange New Worlds, and it was a very good, the first season was great. That character we had so much hope for. We knew nothing about him. He was fresh face, fresh species, a loose connection Enterprise, and he was charming in a weird, curmudgeon way. He was a great character with an insane amount of potential, and they and I say arbitrarily because, and I'll show you this scene. In this scene, he was infected with Gorn eggs. Gorn eggs that are susceptible to cold. They can't live in the cold. And he is an Anar who was born in sub-freezing temperatures and has no problem with the cold. And they even mentioned the way they killed the Gorn before was by going out into the snowstorm or the winter or the open air where it was cold on that planet. He didn't have to jump from the ship. He just had to go outside for a little while. I'm not the only person that sees this, right?
I mean, we've pointed it out, but it surely doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right. So Hemmer, he has this great moment where he breathes in the cold air because, he was born in the cold. Mm-hmm. And then he just jumps or he just falls from the ships and just dies. That is the scene. And here's the problem with this scene. It doesn't make any sense logically. It doesn't make any sense in the story. If I can quickly, in 30 seconds, point out 4 ways that he could have lived easily, then it was clearly done for a purpose. And what purpose did we think it was, Shane? We thought they're bringing in Scotty.
Right. Yeah. Well, they teased it.
And they teased Scotty. Okay.
In an alternate future.
Right. So it makes sense. I guess we gotta lose Hemmer, but at least we get Scotty. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big negatory, my friend. We are not getting Scotty. Instead, we're getting this random female engineer played by Carol Kane. No offense to Carol Kane. She has actually a wonderful repertoire of. She's done a lot of great stuff. She was in Princess Bride.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Carol Kane. She was Lotka's wife on Taxi. She was Princess Bride. She's been in Adams. She's been in a lot of stuff.
She is great. In no way is this.
She is a beloved actress.
I am not complaining about Carol Kane. I'm complaining that Carol Kane is playing a character that has no connection at all to Trek. It's just a brand new character.
When she had no need to be there, Brian.
None whatsoever.
Why replace Hemmer with another character? I mean, who knows what Carol's going to be? I mean, what's the motivation for killing off Hemmer for Carol? Did they feel? I mean, here's my thought processes. We loved Hemmer. Hemmer was a great character. There's tons of things you could do with him. So you replace him for one of 2 reasons. Either Bruce Horak didn't want to keep doing Hemmer, which is not the case.
Nope.
Bruce Horak had been waiting his whole life for a role. He's a blind man. There's not a whole lot of roles he can get. Okay?
Right.
So it wasn't him. Okay? So why kill him? I mean, now you don't have to do makeup with Carol, I guess, with the new engineering officer, Pelia is going to be her name.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the motivation? And I truly feel like we deserve an explanation. Like at some point, somebody from Strange New Worlds needs to come out and explain to us why you kill Hemmer in less than 1 season when he could have easily been the engineer running right up until Scotty.
Right.
Until they're ready to bring him in, he could be the guy. Why kill him off? So that makes us nervous because in this day of political ideologies and agendas, do you kill the guy to bring in the girl? Is that what just happened here? Because there was too much male
there wasn't
on the screen.
I can't see it being the case considering there's like two males.
I know
3 males.
But Spock and Pike are kind of the leads.
Okay.
And everybody else is kind of fill-in. So you're going to get a lot of Pike, you're getting a lot of Spock, and you're getting some number 1, you're getting some of some other people.
Okay.
But less. So do they kill off one of the dudes so they can have more girl time? I mean, the reason why I'm jumping to that conclusion is because no other reasoning has been brought to our attention.
Right.
Did it make the story better to kill Hemmer off?
No.
No, you didn't need to kill anybody off.
No, you didn't.
There was nothing that happened there that forwarded the story that made the show better to kill him.
No.
And now did you have this thing where, Carol was like, I've always wanted to do Star Trek. And they're like, God, we can get Carol Kane on the show.
Carol Kane, oh my God.
Now maybe that's possible. Maybe they said we can get this star power older actress.
Get the blind guy and kill him. Carol wants the role. Kill the blind guy immediately.
I mean, maybe that's the case. So maybe it's not agenda driven. Maybe they're like, wow, Carol Kane wants to be in Star Trek. How do we make room for her? We already have too many people. And it's true. You don't want you don't want 15 people on your show that you got to create lines for all the time. That's true. So if they killed off Hammer because Carol Kane wanted to be in Star Trek, I mean, when Whoopi Goldberg wanted to be in Star Trek, they created a role for her. So maybe that's the case. It seems weird to have Carol. I mean, Carol's not young.
No,
Carol,
yeah.
Carol's really old.
She was old when I watched Princess Bride, so I don't see how she's not.
She's 70.
She's looking great, by the way. Damn.
Yeah, looks great for 70.
Damn, Carol. Damn.
And she's going to be playing a highly educated and intelligent, no nonsense, suffers no fools kind of engineer.
course.
And apparently, from what we are reading, she will be the bridge between Hemmer and Scotty. But
Okay.
why?
So Archmage Frey actually had a really good point. Hemmer is the only male that could die because Spock, Pike, and M'Benga lived to TOS.
Good point. I mean, you're right. You could not get rid of those characters. And, do they want to kill off? They could have gotten rid of Liana, right? Or they could have gotten rid of her because she's really kind of pointless, right? I mean,
Or
not
just
pointless, but they've already filmed her for season 2.
Or have her leave the ship. Have her leave the
Right,
ship.
or have her leave, yeah, and have you could have done that if you wanted to have less characters. You can't get rid of Uhura. You can't get rid of number 1.
Pretty much Ortega or La'an.
It was
Hemmer.
Ortega, it was La'an, or it was Hemmer. That was it. Those were the 3 people you're going to get rid of, and they got rid of Hemmer.
No way you're getting rid of those 2 females, Ortega and La'an, because they're checking all kinds of boxes. So,
Right.
So you got to get rid of in the words of Kenneth, you got to kill the disabled guy to bring in the female. That's really what it is. I don't see another option.
And so we this is the question we'd like to know. Why kill Hemmer to bring in Carol Kane? Is it because you wanted the star power, you wanted Carol Kane in the show, or is it because you felt like there was just too much maleness in the show and you needed some more femininity? Just tell us what it is. Give us the answer so we can know and we can decide whether or not to be upset or not. Because we don't want to be mad for no reason, but you're not giving us any answers as to why this choice has happened. So
there's a third option, Shane.
What is the third option?
It's possible that Scotty is in the second season as a surprise, and she is the bridge, and she's not in a lot of episodes.
Well, according to the people making the show, they were not ready to bring Scotty in yet. It's too soon. So he's not going to be in season 2.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is your engineer. And I'm, great actress, fun to watch. I've always enjoyed her. I don't know what she's going to be like on the show. But we really liked Bruce Horak as Hemmer. We liked his character, his personality. It sounds like this character is also going to be kind of no nonsense, which Hemmer was no nonsense. So there's going to be some aspects of his character, I think, that you're going to find in her character that you find in most chief engineers.
Yeah, it's insult to injury, though, because it's not just like it looks to me as if they were checking boxes, but it's also, I also liked Hemmer. That was the character I was looking forward to the most. In fact, we made an entire video about Hemmer that no one really watched. I mean, legitimately.
Yeah, because they killed him literally right after we made the video.
Right, yeah, it was such a bummer. But we made this video.
And then, don't forget to say, the 3 episodes leading up to when they killed him, they didn't even show him.
Oh, I know.
So he wasn't even in the show for 3 episodes, and then they killed him.
So they hyped up this guy. They hyped up this new character who's also actually blind. He's a good actor. They hyped him up. They showed us a lot of good stuff, but then they totally underutilized him to a disgusting degree, and then killed him off. They didn't even kill him off in the finale. They killed him off
I know. I mean, do you think Bruce is maybe like a big prima donna or something? Was he like difficult to deal with or something? I mean,
What if that's his actual character? He's like, I'm blind.
I'm really blind. But it's like they made the point to come out and say that doesn't mean Bruce Horak will never be in Star Trek again. I'm like, well, how many other blind roles are you going to have for him? It's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. From what we got, he was great. We didn't get enough. 100%, we did not get enough. Oh, and that's another complaint I had. Why didn't the stupid antennae move? Am I saying that word? Is that the right plural of antenna?
There's 2 of them, yeah.
Why didn't they move?
I don't know.
It's like they really mailed in this character, bro. They didn't give him the moving antennae. They gave him so little actual screen time, and they immediately killed him off. And they killed him off in a way that didn't even make sense to the universe or the story.
It didn't. You're right. And now they're unceremoniously replacing him without kind of explaining why that happened. And there's nothing out there. If you ask like why is Bruce Horak not why is Hemmer gone? There's just a whole bunch of nothing out there. There's no explanations. You owe us an answer. Hey, Akiva Goldsman, you owe us an answer.
Yeah.
You need to tell us why you got rid of him. And we want to know.
Someone get like the ACLU involved. Like, why'd you fire the blonde guy? Was he too hard to work with? Huh?
Well, I would like to believe that Bruce wouldn't allow himself to be hired without somehow being agreeable to it.
Right.
Or fired.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, that's that. That's that. And you know what? And more than that's a bummer. But it's also a wrap. Please hit the subscribe button on the way to the comment section to let us know what you thought of Hemmer. And we are moving on.
All right. How's everybody doing over here?
How's everyone doing?
Liar, humperdink. Humperdink. That's such a great word. They barely acknowledge that he was telepathic either, which is a big part of the Anar. Very true.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell? Ugh.
I mean, you got a little bit of that when he in the first episode when he was cooking and grabbed the stuff. A little bit of that.
Okay.
But they really could, like, literally. Well, but maybe they talk to other. Are they telepathic with who, right?
What are you trying to say, Shane?
They're telepathic with each other, so maybe because there's no other Anar around, they're not maybe that's part of the.
I'm pretty sure they're telepathic. No, I think he displayed telepathy with Uhura, didn't he?
No crap, I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, with the knife scene. I'm not insane. I know.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is he was he uses that as part of his senses. Yes, but I'm saying he's not like having conversations with people in their heads.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas I believe the Anar could do that with each other.
I don't know. All right, let's move on. Talk for a bit so I can set the next one up.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Okay, go ahead and talk so I can set the next one up.
Oh, yeah, sure. No problem.
Thanks, man.
Let's go. Sorry.
Appreciate it, bro.
He died so Uhura could decide to start on the ship, and B, so they could add Penguin's mom. Oh, you're right. She was Penguin's mom. That's hilarious. In a fight, just give her a toaster.
Oh, she was Penguin's mom in Gotham.
Yeah.
She's a great actress.
She is. I mean, she's wonderful. I got to tell you, if you go back, I don't know if you ever watched Taxi. I don't know. Most of you guys are older. But if you ever watch Taxi, she played Latka's wife. And frankly, for a very small role, she stole it sometimes. Stole the scenes.
I don't remember her in
She
Taxi.
had that weird accent down.
But I remember her in those there's gnarly 80s prosthetics in Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, the classic, man. Still good today. You can watch it.
It is very good. Okay. So let me set this up real quick.
Imagine if they used Hemmer to telepathically deliver messages in that episode where the ship lost power and everyone was in the dark without comms. Yeah, that would have been a great use of his skills.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. You guys are reminding me. Remember how much I complained about that? Like, why aren't they utilizing the fact that Hemmer is blind and they are in the dark?
Yes, you did.
Oh my God. That is so annoying, bro. I mean, as much as I loved Strange New Worlds, there are parts that were like just, and all of the parts, most of the parts I'm referring to involve Hemmer.
Yeah, you're right.
Or the misuse of the Gorn. That was also they didn't use the Gorn correctly. All right. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, here we're gonna do the trailer for Quantum Leap.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Very good. That is. Yeah. Because that is okay. Are you going to let me know when you're ready?
Yeah, I'll let you know right now. I'm just putting a little overlay out so they don't hit us with the copyright. All right, is that cool, boss?
That's always cool, man. You know. Oh, you did it! Look at that.
I did it just for you.
That was my suggestion, right?
You wanted it. I delivered it.
Yeah. So the other day I was watching something and I'm like, man, that might be a great way to keep him from getting on our butts.
I don't know if it's going to work, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
let's find out. Let me pull this off. Okay. All right, we're talking about the Quantum Leap trailer. Brand new trailer just dropped, and this is going to be premiering on Monday, the 19th. We are going to watch this for the first time. I'm sorry, what, Shane?
On Peacock.
On Peacock. We're going to watch this for the first time and react in real time. Hopefully it's good or not. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Back it up a little bit because I like that chamber.
It looks good. The chamber looks right.
Yeah, it does, right? It looks like like an updated version. It's not all crazy. Okay.
It does. Looks updated. Looks good graphics. Well, it's funny you got your snow over the top. I wasn't sure. Yes, but it is good.
No, my bad.
I was like, whoa, is that part of the effect?
That's actually spit, not snow.
It's bigger than anything you can imagine.
Yeah, so that looks good, bro. That looks really good.
It does.
Huh?
How did I get here?
1985. Ooh, it's 1985?
Okay, so Challenger explosion. Okay. You saw the space shuttle launching?
I did.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you can do about that, but maybe some sort of side story around, because I mean the astronauts obviously died. So but yeah, that's big deal.
Okay, so but the time he's in, can't that sort of line up with Dr. Beckett?
Well, yeah, no, I mean it can, because Dr. Beckett was actually taking place, I believe, when he went back in time, it was around 2000. And the show aired in 89. 87, 89.
So as long as they were both alive at the time
Yes.
that they're jumping.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, is that they're inside of Dr. Beckett's timeline. So he's going to be jumping within a time he can jump as well.
I see. It's also on NBC, apparently, Chris said. All right.
Yeah, Peacock.
This can't be
Oh, it's going to actually on. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be on terrestrial. Legacy television.
I'm 100% cord cut. So
Yeah, I don't even have an antenna.
We've been trying to find you for hours.
Do I know you?
You don't remember me.
I don't remember anything.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's the new.
Yeah, she's no Al, bro.
She's no Al, but also
It's tough to see that.
Did Sam lose his memory when he jumped?
It was Swiss cheese. So he remembered some things, but he didn't remember everything, and enough to function. But it was always Swiss cheese when he jumped.
I see.
Hologram from the future. We gotta go now!
But so pause it on her. You go ahead there. So don't really know this actress. Not exactly sure if she's going to be any good. In this trailer, she doesn't look bad. But the one thing about Sam that we loved was that Sam had a sense of humor. Now, she's not Sam. This is a different character, a different time and everything.
Clearly, yeah.
But my concern a little bit here is the tone going to be too dramatic?
Right.
Sam didn't care. He kind of had I got a thing to go to. Like, what are we doing here? Right. And he had his moments, but she's obviously right out the gate coming out pretty hot here.
Yeah.
You need to do this and I'm in charge kind of thing. So we'll wait to see how that fleshes out. But
so she's back in the future communicating with him through the machine.
right. She's in 2022, 23, whatever, 20, our current time, maybe a little bit more in the future. And she's traveling like Al did as a hologram into the past to help Ben.
Just like Al. Okay. So
Just
real
like
quick, where was this character on the cast sheet?
I mean, where was she?
Yeah, I don't remember them asking for a Caucasian woman, did they?
They did. Yeah.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, our big thing is there were no white dudes at all.
No, they were.
Being
Yeah,
asked for.
they were.
They
That's right.
weren't asking for any.
There were no white dudes.
There was no white dudes.
Well, it actually said, remember, on one of the casting
It did.
sheets, no white people, please.
No, it didn't say that.
I'm just joking.
But it asked for very specific types of people, and there was definitely
no white guys.
Yeah, Caitlin Bassett is the actress playing this character. She's playing, I think it's Addison.
Get in the van.
Addison is the character's name. And she's known for nothing. This is the first thing she's ever really done.
Uh-oh. Doesn't mean she can't do good.
Doesn't mean she won't be great. We'll see.
Ooh. I like the period correct everything. Everything looks, it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, everything looks okay. Looks good. Now, this is where things are going to get a little different. You hear what she said right there?
Yeah, she said you're a time traveler.
100% chance that if you don't succeed, all these people die. So you know it's Challenger they're going back to.
Wait a minute. So, yeah, but they're supposed to die.
I know. But I'm telling you, I mean, you got a space shuttle launching in 1985. The title of the first episode is 1985.
Yeah, so it's definitely Challenger then.
It's Challenger. It's got to be. That's what they're going back to deal with, these kind of situations. Usually in when it was the original Quantum Leap, it was around these types of things. Right. So it was usually a side story connected to it. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen here as well. Because you never really changed history. He never changed history,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He never changed. Yeah.
He fixed little problems in people's history, and he fixed their stories, personal histories.
Oh, that's a little bootstrappy, isn't it?
I mean, well, let's say you go back and JFK is being assassinated, right? But the guy guarding the bank dies that day. He would be able to, guarding the book tower dies or something. He would be able to manipulate that situation that is fictional for us, but is associated to this actual factual history thing, which makes it interesting when we watch it.
I see, but it doesn't have any like heavy bearing on the future per se.
Right, on the history as we know it for real.
Right. So it couldn't, like, if he didn't actually do that, he wouldn't create the technology. There's no paradox.
Oh, Ken's right here. Challenger blew up in 87. Sorry, I'm like. What's funny is I forget how old I am sometimes. You're right. So it will not be Challenger. But there were a lot of STS missions happening in 85. So, okay. So that's fine. So you're probably going to have one of those Endeavor or maybe an earlier Challenger mission. Maybe they'll do an earlier Challenger mission that kind of foreshadows the tragedy that happens 2 years later.
Oh, like he saves them, but like they still don't listen and the O-rings aren't changed or whatever?
Yeah, so Addison will probably come and say, 2 years from now, there's, a space shuttle or this space shuttle is going to explode and kill everybody on board, but you need to save these people today or something like that.
Right, I get it. Yeah, okay.
Or someone around them, changing history for the better. No matter what happens, I am going to be with you every step of the way.
No, that was from the teaser. I hated that.
Ben knew that the technology wasn't ready.
So
who is this actor?
So this is where things get a little different. Okay, so in the original Quantum Leap, it was just Sam, right? And it was Dr. Beckett, and it was Al, right? Al and Sam, and then you had the computer, but there wasn't a big team necessarily of people back there at the laboratory.
I see.
Now we're going to have a whole team, which is going to include Ernie Hudson. It's going to include Anastasia Antonia, apparently Jewel State's actually in this episode. That's interesting.
Really?
Yep, Jewel State's going to be in this. I don't know if I don't think she has a permanent role in it, but from Firefly.
Interesting.
No, she won't be. She's not a permanent member.
So she's just like she's a walk-on role.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he jumps into her. That might be fun.
Not in this episode. He doesn't. No.
Not in this episode. No.
This is for this one. They've only got one. They haven't listed.
Oh,
IMDb.
okay. I see. My bad. I was looking at the screen.
But you got Ernie Hudson. You've got Mason Alexander Park. So there's going to be a bunch of other characters behind the scenes. It's not going to be. We're not going to be just following Dr. Ben Song around the whole time. There's going to be other things happening. There's going to be a B story to a lot of the A. We're going to have an A and a B. Whereas occasionally on Quantum Leap, we had a B story with Al when he was doing something in the future, something related to his life or something to the military, very occasionally. But it seems like in this show, we're going to have a lot more B stories.
Interesting. Okay.
Technology wasn't ready.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, this actor, the way I'm gonna say I'm gonna be safe here and say the way they are dressed, I think he's the non-binary character.
So that is Mason Alexander Park playing the character of Ian Wright.
Ah, called it.
Yep, you're right.
Look at that.
That the technology wasn't ready.
Can you hear me?
Why did he leak? Find out what he's there to do.
There he is. That's my boy. Called it. Ernie Hudson.
Ernie. Yeah, you called it.
Just out of curiosity.
It's definitely one of the ships because he's inside of a ship.
You die too.
Right. Good to know.
Is that right in the original one? If he dies in that body, he dies too. I'm sorry. I said that like a crackhead.
Well, I mean,
I don't remember that.
I don't know. I don't know if we ran into that situation.
So they just said in here that if he dies in this body, he dies also.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, he's stuck there. The other guy can't come back. Remember, when he changes places, the person, when he goes into their body, they go into the future. And they're in like a holding cell.
Yeah, good point.
So, yeah, where would they go if their body was killed?
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. Now, what is interesting about the show, and there's a few things we have to look at. So Raymond Lee might be a fantastic actor, but let's be clear here. They wanted a specific type of actor for the lead role.
Yeah.
They wanted a Pacific Islander or Middle Eastern actor to play the lead role of this character.
Right.
So the reason why they wanted that is because they wanted a specific look. There's no reason to pick somebody of a certain ethnicity for a role, because there's nothing about this role that says he needs to be of this ethnicity to play this role. They simply wanted this look on the show.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not for this. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I doubt it's because the story called for it, dude.
No, it's not. 100% not for the story calling for it. It's not. They gave two different types of. They gave Asian Pacific Islander, totally kudos to Raymond and for anybody, but the thing I hate about studios is when they're looking for a specific type of person for a specific type of reason.
Right.
When they're in the process of checking boxes.
Right.
And I know that when you go out for acting, there are certain roles that are assigned, like, hey, we're writing this person this way, we're doing it this way. But I really hope that the studios are going out and they're finding the best person for the job, no matter what their race, sexuality, or anything else is. Pick people because they're the right person and because they're great at what they do and they're going to make the show wonderful. And don't go out looking for the few people that can check a certain box so that you can say, yay, we're diverse.
Right.
So,
yeah, I agree. All right. Yeah. So that's it. Let us know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Hit that comment section, hit the like button on the way down there, and let us know what you guys thought about this trailer. And, you're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. We're going to review it. So make sure to come back the next day for that. Hey, I just turned off members only mode. I didn't know that it was in members only mode, guys. I'm sorry. So
was it really?
Yeah, if you're watching right now and you've been frustrated that you couldn't chat, I didn't know it was in members only mode. So
oh wow. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I just got a text from someone that was like, "Yeah, listen, I can't comment. I can't chat in your thing." All right.
Huh. So from the beginning of the show, it's been that way, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah. So,
All right. Well,
yep. I didn't know that was I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought it was a public
apologize,
stream.
guys.
I thought
That's a
member
bummer.
streams were members streams, but
well, you have to forgive us. We haven't live streamed for 3 years. So on this channel, so our desire was actually to so that everybody could participate. So I hope you guys didn't leave because you couldn't chat.
yeah. And I'm sorry that I did not know that existed that way. So, but yeah, if you're still here, please hit the share button and share it out. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Thank you, my friends. All right, we're moving on.
Oh, and Ken cleaned it up. You're right. So it's funny, Ken, because I was in 7th grade when the Challenger blew up, and I don't know why I thought it was 85, but you're right. It was close to 85. It was January 28th, 1986. So just after 85 ended that the Challenger blew up. And so that makes sense. That's why I was thinking that.
I see. Chappie just said, happy to watch you guys live, about 15 minutes behind. Screw Star Trek for killing Hammer.
Good time. You can say that whenever you want, Chappie. That's what we're talking
Chappie, you're going to hear this in about 15 minutes, but I'm sorry you couldn't say it earlier. I swear, I didn't know there was a separate setting for that. I thought if you made a member stream, it was members, and a public stream was public. But apparently you can check box. I didn't know that. So I'm sorry.
You know, it's funny. I have watched people where I could not chat. And I think that is, I guess, an interesting way to get people to become members. That was not our purpose. And hopefully you didn't join. You didn't join so you could chat.
Yeah, we didn't even know that was an option. So living and learning, boys. Living and learning. Okay, let's talk about Secret Invasion. I have such mixed feelings about this, so I hope we can talk about this together.
Wait, what does that mean?
I'll tell you right now. We're talking about Marvel's Secret Invasion trailer. We're going to watch it, we're going to break it down, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to review it, per se. And I have some very spicy takes about this trailer. I hope that Shane and I can have a healthy debate about such takes.
I'm worried because he never says this about Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I usually like everything, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because I watched it. It's one of the rare ones I've actually liked the trailer for.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right. Yep. Here we go.
It's not snowing there, by the way. That's
just the overlay.
It's an alien.
Nope.
It's Nick Fury.
What's up, mother?
3 years, you've been avoiding Earth. But I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content.
Hey, I like that they have Kobe Smothers in here. I think she's awesome, and I think she's underutilized.
I do like her.
To let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Yeah, well, this is different. How much do you know about your security detail?
He's talking to Rhodey.
I know.
War Machine. I find this interesting. So apparently, Rhodey actually knows a lot more than we thought he knew. He knows about Sam Jackson and the Skrulls.
Interesting.
Which makes sense considering he's high up in the government, and Captain Marvel showed us that they knew about Skrulls. Right?
Yep.
Dude, oh my God. They're way too soft to do this. They're not bold enough to do this, but what if there is an off little throwaway nod to the fact that he was played by a different character? Skrulls are shapeshifters.
That's true. That would be interesting. And we had a whole thing about that. Yeah.
How cool would that be? Right?
That would be different.
Trust me, I know. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be 6 episodes. This miniseries.
Yeah, this is not a regular TV show, guys. This is like a spy thriller kind of thing.
It's going to be 6 episodes on Disney Plus.
So it's not even a TV show. It's basically
it's a miniseries.
It's like a long movie.
Yeah, that's what they call a miniseries. Several episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone in that room was a Skrull. Instantly turned into that dude. If you guys don't know what Skrulls are, they're like aliens that can shapeshift, basically.
Yeah, a whole part of the Marvel universe that messed me up during the Avenger, was it Mrs.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, they and that's one of my complaints, by the way, with Captain Marvel is that I felt like you had to already know things about the Marvel universe to understand or appreciate that movie, even though it wasn't a good movie. But just to like get the maximum benefit of what they were offering out of that movie, you had to already know things going into it that casual fans would not know.
Right. And it looks like hopefully they're not doubling down on that here.
You know, hopefully they explain it as if you've never seen Captain Marvel. But I doubt that. By the way, Sam Jackson looks great.
This fight.
He's the best part of the whole thing. I mean, it's Sam Jackson. Who doesn't want to watch it?
Only reason I'm going to watch. And Kobe Smulders.
Alone. And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Oh my gosh, is that Emilia Clarke? Who is
There's
that?
a Skrull.
Oh yeah, that's Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, Emilia Clarke, yeah.
Mother of Dragons.
Yep, she's in the whole thing.
I like her as a blonde.
And what is that?
Secret invasion.
Yeah. All right. Here's my spicy take. Ready? This could have been an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series.
Yeah, you're right.
The fact that this is even coming out is telling me Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead and isn't a part of MCU canon.
Oh.
It can't.
That's a good point.
It literally can't be at this point.
Yeah. Well, it also lends to what all of these streaming services want to do. They want to create little viewing experiences to keep people subscribed to their streaming service. This is a 6-episode event. They can do this with Marvel content to the ends of the earth. We just saw there's another Loki coming out. They're doing this little tiny stuff so you can never stop subscribing if you like Marvel stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
And they're gone are like the big sweeping stuff, I think, or at least this is the model it looks like that Disney Plus wants to go down.
And you know what? Fine. I'm okay with that. But you know why? Because we still have DC. So if you want to start,
they do it right.
I mean, if this is David Zaz the man, Zaz man, this is your chance, man. Look at Marvel is going the wrong direction, or at least the direction that's going to make them as much money as possible on their streaming platform. So this is your chance to step up and be the DC you always needed to be. All right,
true that.
That's all I gotta say about that. I don't know. It always goes back somehow to DC for me, but because I do believe that Marvel is minimizing itself, whether intentionally or not. They are literally becoming sort of a shadow of themselves, and they are becoming smaller. They're shrinking their footprint to make more content that's less epic. So this is DC's chance to actually step out and do something hot. So
that's a good point. Yeah. And we don't have a release date for it yet.
Yeah, it's just streaming 2023.
Is it 2023?
That's literally what it says. Look.
You're right. Sometime around the spring of 2023. Okay. So we're about 6 months away.
What movies come out? What Marvel movie comes out before then?
I
don't know. That's literally the answer.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't think so. But, I could be wrong.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out.
I'm so turned off to Marvel now that I've literally, I don't even know what the next movie coming out is.
May 5th, 2023.
Around the same time.
So about the same time, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, either way, listen, the trailer looks good. My problem wasn't with the trailer. It does look good. It looks like a spy thriller. You know what it looks like? Take a spy thriller and add some sci-fi to it. Right up our alley, right?
Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out in February.
Oh, I see. But here's the problem with this. If they don't make it for normies, and if they assume that everyone's already read the comic books and seen all the movies, I don't care how good the spy thriller is going to be. Like, it's not going to work.
And it's so counter to everything they've done up to this point. They never pander to the comic book people. If you're a norm, you can watch it. They in fact they know most people are not. So it would seem weird to do that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Moving on. Do me a favor, everyone. On the way to the comment section to tell Shane he's nuts. I'm not even sure why. Please hit the like and subscribe button because a lot of you aren't subscribed. I love you so much. And let's move on. Check the chat real quick, bro.
Yeah, just shout out to Caitlin Mel, who says, congrats, guys. Thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate that. Thank you for helping us get to 100,000 subscribers. And which would remind us, if you haven't subscribed and you're still watching at this point, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like this content, please go over to Popcast Unleashed, which you can find somewhere around here. And we do this every Thursday. So.
Yeah, I'll make sure all the links are in the description at some point. But you can also find it in the YouTube channel section at the bottom of the channel.
Yeah.
All right. We are talking about we're going to talk about Indiana Jones next. You ready?
Oh, is it Indiana Jones?
I'm going to start this segment up, but I need you to make me a promise, Shane.
Okay.
I need you to promise me that you're not going to cry when I play this. Okay?
I can't make that promise.
I have like this weird thing. I don't like seeing grown men cry. So don't cry when you see Harrison Ford come out and gracefully be.
Is that why you cut out what I said earlier? Just curious.
I don't know. Did I?
I noticed in the preview there was a line that was removed that was very specific to this.
Oh no, it's because it went too long, man.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about D23. It's the Disney 23, or I have no idea what 23 stands for. It's stupid.
2023. It's supposed to be for next year.
No, what?
Stuff coming out next year, right?
No. There was a D23 last year. I'm not insane. Was it D22 last year? No, it wasn't. It was D23.
Oh, you're right. D23 is the official Disney fan club.
So
okay.
Whatever it stands for, I don't care. D23 is basically like Disney's own private Comic-Con, right? And they show trailers.
It refers to the year that Walt Disney founded the company, 1923.
Cool.
That's it.
Deep cut right there.
Well, yeah, D23. Got it.
All right. So it's basically Disney's private Comic-Con. They show trailers. They have actors and directors and people come out and they talk about what's coming up and what's fresh, and it's basically, imagine Hall H at Comic-Con, but the entire thing is just a long Disney Hall H with all Disney stuff, right?
Right.
Cool stuff. I've never gone personally. I don't ever plan to, but I like to watch the highlights after the fact. That said, we are talking about Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones 5 should be coming out soon, at some point in the future. Hopefully sooner than later. It was delayed like 12 times for a multitude of reasons. Do you recall this, Shane?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've been covering it for like 16 years now.
Right. At one point, I thought, is this like a meta joke because there's time travel in the movie, maybe? I don't understand why it was delayed so much, but it was. It was delayed a bunch of times, and I'm sure COVID had something to do with one of them. It was delayed before COVID, too. Like, it was delayed at least twice before COVID was even a factor. And
Harrison Ford got injured, and yeah.
Right. So whatever it is, it looks like it's done now. Looks like they're wrapping or they're in post, and there was a little Indiana Jones moment at D23, and it was nice. And I'm going to play it for you right now.
It was surprising.
I cannot leave here without talking about one more project.
Ooh.
We've been working for quite a while on this one.
That music, man.
Yeah.
That music does it for me every
I
time.
am thrilled to welcome to the stage our director, James Mangold.
Thank you, Sosa. Oh.
Thank you, Kathy.
There's the director.
Isn't this the guy that got in like a long Twitter beef with Matt?
Yeah,
Salty,
Matt
Gatish. Yeah.
Salty nerd guys. Yeah, that was great.
It's incredible to
got him his blue check mark
and look out at all these fans.
Here we go.
Of course, Harrison Ford with Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Is she from Dirtbag?
Yes, she is.
Fleabag. She's a great actress, but she is so skinny. My God.
Yeah, look at this. Look at Harrison, guys.
Oh.
Wow.
No, thank you. Thank you for making these films such an incredible experience for all of us.
Don't cry, Shane.
Giving the opportunity to us.
You're only saying that so you won't cry.
I know, damn it.
For you. And I think...
So yeah, when he's done talking, pause it for a
I'm
second.
very proud to say... I'm very proud to say that this one is fantastic.
I'm going to pause it real quick because he did not say that about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
He did not. You're right. And in fact, I've watched 100 interviews with Harrison Ford, and I have never seen him emotional in any of them. In fact, it's generally a sense of, why am I here doing this? You know,
right.
And I don't know if it's, advanced age, looking back or what it is, but I mean, yeah, it made me a little misty eyed when he came out, and I'm like, whoa, he's really emotional about this, which immediately did something that Indiana Jones 5 had not done previously, which was have me take a moment, take notice, say, wait a second, because we've been kind of walking into this a little bit skeptical.
Right.
I think in Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, and Sosa says something here. Harrison Ford looks like he's being held up by puppet strings. That's one of the reasons, though. When we see him on the set photos, we're like, he looks so tired and old and just like, I don't know how he's. It reminds me of Patrick Stewart and Picard. It's like, I don't know how this doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case for him. I hope we're seeing a vibrant. Go ahead.
But you're right, 100%. But this is not the way he normally acts about his material.
No, he's usually like, take mild annoyance and extreme apathy and marry them.
Yeah, he doesn't have this sort of like response to his work, and that makes me wonder. I mean, listen, we're going to have John Rhys Davies in this movie, which is fantastic. Of course, he goes all the way back to the original Indiana Jones, and there's some interesting things we're going to see happening, and it all depends on what they do with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I agree is a good actress. It just depends on, is this a Harrison Ford Indiana Jones movie, or is it Harrison Ford turning Indiana Jones over to Phoebe Waller-Bridge? And I think that's what we need to wonder about and see.
And when are we going to get a trailer? Like, come on.
Yeah, I thought we'd get one at D23, but not yet.
Yeah.
I had the time of my life making this movie. I feel so incredibly lucky to be.
She's fine. She's great.
And keeping up with this guy is exhausting. We got to do so many unbelievable things.
Currently scheduled for June 30th, so next summer.
Oh,
and
so we should get a trailer
really
then by
these films
Christmas.
mean a lot to me as well.
Christmas,
and Jim, you have protected and brought back everything that everybody loves and needs from these films, and then brought.
Can we go back to Harrison,
Phoebe?
You're great.
So thank you so much.
Go back to Harrison, Phoebe.
I cannot wait for you guys.
I love that you feel like so lucky to be there, privileged, awesome.
All right, that's about it. That's all.
They bring Kevin Feige out next and do this whole thing with a bunch of Marvel stuff that we care absolutely nothing about.
Yeah. Oh my God. We don't have time. We don't have time to talk about that. But
I'm not going to.
I literally care, like, a minus amount. Like when I see it, it bothers me that I let it play long enough for me to even see it.
Yeah, I turned it off as fast as I could.
I literally care a minus amount about any of this Marvel stuff coming out. It's just,
I'm like, don't ruin my Indiana Jones moment here with this crappy Marvel stuff you got coming.
Jump right into it, like, hey, like, oh god damn it. All right. Yeah, that's about it, man. That's all of it pretty much. I'm sure there's more that we didn't see, but that's the clip. And it makes me feel really good because Shane's right. Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford is not usually excited about anything, in his later years now. He's very, like I said, apathetic and sort of annoyed. And when they came out with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, he wouldn't even answer them when they. I don't know if you guys saw his interviews. They would ask him what he thought about the movie. He's like, he would make a joke. Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah, he went out of his way to not answer the question, let alone volunteer his opinion. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, great comment here, Darth from Darth Maul. Darth actually shopping at the mall. I love that. Maybe his response is predicated on the death of Carrie Fisher. It gave him perspective on things. Hopefully, I mean, by the time you're Harrison Ford's age, you got to be wondering how much more time you have.
Jeremy Sanders, someone feed this girl a sandwich. All right, that's it for Indiana Jones. Hit that comment section. All the subscribe buttons. Hit all the buttons. And let's move on.
Can we move around the order a touch?
Yeah, what do you want to do next?
Let's do Henry Cavill last. And let's do the Weekly Terry next.
Okay, sure.
Can we do that, then Hulk, and then Henry?
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool.
All right. Cool. That lets me play this. Ready, guys? Damn it, the audio not working.
No. The Weekly Terry.
The Weekly Terry.
I'm going to do it my best SNL voice, right?
I will have that audio fixed next week. You want to do it?
Put the Weekly Terry back up real quick.
All right, ready?
Yeah. It's the Weekly Terry.
So this segment, we are going to be weekly covering things Terry Matalas says and does when he goes to the bathroom, when he checks his mail. What he eats in them. No, I'm kidding.
He could be tweeting from his bathroom. I'm not
his
sure.
News, his tweets, what he's working on. Until Picard comes out, we're just gonna make sure that you are in the know, and we even set up this little program that collects all of his tweets and drops it into a spreadsheet, so we have all the information every week just for you.
Yes, and also, just so you guys know, Terry has told us that he will drop little tidbits from time to time just for our show, just for you guys watching our show.
Yes, he said exclusive tidbits.
Yeah, he's just going to, like, everyone. I told him, I said, whenever you feel like it and you want to just talk to the fans and give them something, let us know and we'll put it on the Weekly Terry. So who knows? We might even be able to get him on the show.
As white dudes,
to be in the Weekly Terry spot.
With that, you know where
we'll see.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yes, hopefully maybe we can get him on the show, but at the very least, hopefully we just get those tidbits and we can take those tidbits and spoon feed them to you like little birdies.
That is so weird.
All right, man. We are talking about Terry Matalas. This is the Weekly Terry. And I'm not sure what's on the docket today because I didn't read the article.
Well, it's not the whole article. So,
okay.
By the way, if you don't know who Terry Matalas is, after all, he is the showrunner for Picard season 3, and he has been doing some stuff. So he did an interview with Trek Movie yesterday, and something interesting came out. The question that they asked him was, Riker really feels like the core of this trailer. I think he has more lines than Picard. Does that translate to the season? Is he the core of season 3? Okay, talking about Riker. His answer is Picard is very much foremost and at the center of everything in this. But Riker and Beverly, I would say, are very close number twos. But there is a lot of Riker. So if you were a fan of Will Riker, you're going to get a healthy dose of him. And some Riker that you've never seen before. Let me repeat that again. Some Riker that you've never seen before.
Wait a minute.
So wait. Some Riker you always wanted to see before.
Oh.
You're going to get a lot of things you always wanted for Christmas.
Oh my God. Do you know
I love how he just like drops these little dangling things here for us to play with.
Okay, because I have an idea exactly what that means. Are we on the same page here?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no.
I mean, he's talking about transporter clone, right?
That sounds like it to me, right?
Right. You've always wanted to see it. You've never. What Riker have we never seen?
I mean, I don't know if we would go that far. We don't know for sure, but if you're guessing,
I mean, he's technically still alive in this universe, as far as we know.
Okay, maybe, yeah. But what about Riker? It also could also mean some things about Riker that you've always wanted to see, maybe. So maybe Riker is the captain.
I think we've already seen that. We saw it in episode.
That's true. We saw it in season 1, right?
Right.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but it's interesting because he said some Riker you always wanted to see before. Now, I don't think he's talking about a version of Riker per se. I don't believe so. It would complicate things to have a second Riker running around, honestly speaking.
I mean,
but
not if he's part of the bad guys.
Oh yeah, I don't know if Jonathan Frakes. I don't know if Jonathan Frakes at this time in his life would go that far as to play two characters on the show.
There's a lot of options though that you can go.
There are. Yeah, so I mean there could be a lot of things. It could be him in, more in the captain's seat. Maybe it's as an admiral. I don't know. We don't know exactly what it is, and we get a chance to hypothesize about it. But these are the little things that Terry gives away that most showrunners wouldn't give us.
Right.
And so that's why we want to have a weekly dose of Terry to kind of do it. If you want to check out the whole article, it's over at trekmovie.com.
Full frontal Riker.
Full frontal Riker.
There's a couple more things here that I like to talk about. Can you see this? They also asked, there are some other ships in the trailer. Can you tell me about those? And Terry answers, there is a science medical vessel you see early on called the SS Helios.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first ship you see, and that's Beverly Crusher's ship.
That's right. So she's on a medical vessel from the beginning.
And he goes, do you mean she's the captain or just assigned the ship? He says, she is not assigned. She is not in Starfleet. I can't say much more than that.
Yeah.
Go watch our video.
That's stuff we've already talked about.
Go watch our video because our video literally explains this to the letter. Okay. Anyways, and he goes, is it a Starfleet ship? And he goes, it used to be a Starfleet ship. I'm done. Come on, man.
Is it a Ferengi ship? No, it's not a Ferengi ship.
Come on.
So there are no Ferengi, and just so you guys know, there are no Ferengi in Picard season 3.
Yeah, I found this interesting too. It says, regarding Seven, even though she greets him and sits in the chair, she is not the captain of the Titan. And he says Savick wasn't the captain when he sat in the chair and took the ship out of space dock. No, she's not the captain. She's definitely a commander. What? So Seven's not the captain of the Titan.
Interesting. Well, I feel like from all the imagery we've seen that at some point she becomes a captain, no? Maybe she's just rocking the commander.
Yeah. He goes, is the captain of the Titan someone we know? And he says, to be announced, the captain is also a minor character. It's not a character you've seen before. And you will be hearing more about the Titan A from this captain. And it's an actor that I'm very, very fond of.
What makes sense about that is because 7 of 9 is a part of the show, it'll be hard for her to be the captain of this vessel and then just bail and go do stuff. So maybe that's why they wrote it that way.
Oh, that's how we get 7. I see.
Yeah.
Right. Very fond. You have previously hinted at some 12 Monkeys people. So is that the connection? He says, this is what Terry says. I would say there are a few actors from the television series 12 Monkeys in this season that are pretty fantastic. And by the way, I'm going to stop. Go watch our videos. Go watch them. We already said all this a month and a half ago. Anyways, yeah, that's anything more to add here, Shane?
The Weekly Terry. No, that's, I mean, I don't want to give a whole lot of stuff because we're going to have to come up with stuff every week for it. But I thought it was interesting. He's giving away stuff all the time. So if you're ready and you're excited about Picard season 3, then you'll want to check in here every week to see what new goodies Terry is giving the world.
Yes.
And some exclusive stuff, hopefully, too.
And this has been the Weekly Terry.
The Weekly Terry.
For real though, we're going to be serious about this. We're going to try to get new stuff every week. So,
yes.
Make sure to come back for the Weekly Terry. It's a short segment, but it's a fun one. Hit the subscribe button on the way to the comment section to put your questions in there. Do you have a question for Terry Matalas that you would like us to maybe forward to him? And if he wants to answer it, maybe he will. We don't know.
Yeah. Good idea.
Put the questions for Terry Matalas in the comment section, and we would do our best to forward that information over to him, and maybe he responds, maybe he doesn't. And on the way down there, please hit the subscribe button and the like button and all the buttons. And we appreciate you. All the buttons. All right, moving on. You want to do She-Hulk? I think you had plenty of time, by the way, to watch She-Hulk, considering it's like 18 minutes. You could have watched it between the segments.
Watch She-Hulk while we do the review.
Yeah. All right. Talk for a second so I can set this up.
Let's see what we got in the chat here. Full frontal Riker? Dear God, no. Please no. From Ken LaRoque. Jeremy Snyder with the full frontal. Marshall, on a medical vessel, just like in All Good Things, minus being in Starfleet. 100% correct, Marshall. She was in Starfleet during All Good Things. Marcel, yes, I do. Any chance we'll see DS9 characters in Picard Season 3? I believe we will see some.
Wait a minute.
I think they've alluded to that. And
Really?
we will get some information about the Dominion War, I think, in Picard Season 3.
Yeah, I saw something about Captain Sisko at some point, and I'm like, that can't be right.
I don't think it's going to be Captain Sisko, just because he's a little out of his mind right now.
I mean, I don't know if that's the right term, right? Maybe it is the right term.
No, you saw the captains. He's not, something's not right there.
Yeah, something's
I just
off.
don't, what's he acting in? Nothing. So, I just don't think it would be realistic. Will there be any Voyager cameos? We got 7 of 9 for sure. She's going to be in it, but it would be cool if there was a Janeway thing or something. There's going to be a bunch of cameos that we don't know. The way Terry explained it, it was going to be a bunch of characters that you'll be like, oh, it's him or it's her, So we're going to be like pleasantly excited, or to see these characters that kind of just show up from our past.
Right. All right. All right. You ready for some She-Hulk?
No, but I'm willing to do it.
Sounds to me like you don't want to do She-Hulk, Shane.
I'm committed to doing She-Hulk.
All right.
Just your signature.
Ready?
There. And then just
I'm
initial.
gonna go ahead and
and
start with
initial.
this amazing scene here.
And we just lost half our viewers.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This is the worst thing I've ever seen on television. Okay. There we go. We are talking about She-Hulk.
So here.
And She-Hulk's
eat it up.
working.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest. You ain't never got it.
Talking about She-Hulk.
So stupid.
Anybody also who's named The Stallion needs to, and is not a guy. I think we got to worry about that.
Or even is like anyone that doesn't.
If you're gonna call yourself The Stallion, at least stallions are, I believe, men, right? They're boy horses. Isn't a stallion a boy horse? I gotta find out now.
Yes.
It is.
It's like a bull.
It's a stallion, a male horse. The answer is.
All right.
A
Anyways,
male horse is called a stallion. A female is a mare.
Yes.
So why is she calling herself The Stallion? Who cares?
Poor education. Okay, we are talking about She-Hulk, and specifically She-Hulk episode 5 of what I'm assuming will be the only season of this show.
So far, we've had a total of 46 minutes of television after 5 episodes.
Yeah, just to be clear, by the way, Shane misrepresented me earlier in the
I did.
preview for the show. He's like, "Oh, because Brian really likes the show, and I think it's okay," or whatever you said.
I said Brian. Well, I don't know what I said, but maybe.
Whatever it is, I don't like the show or dislike the show. I'm apathetic. There are parts, and I said it last week, there are parts that are good, and there are parts that are stupid. But what I'm getting is I'm getting this entertainment value because there's parts of it I really dislike, and I get to enjoy that like the same way you would enjoy looking at like a car crash or something. And there's parts that are legitimately funny where I laugh. So I guess there is entertainment value here, even if it's like not the intended entertainment value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think it does. I mean, I actually enjoyed the whole copyright battle of this episode
really
because it's something that I'm deeply entrenched in and deal with on a constant basis. And so it was actually pretty interesting. And it was a nice distraction right up until they got to the point where they decided to do some man bashing per their each episode as they do.
Well, they got to do man bashing. It's required.
It's just, listen, okay, She-Hulk is made, I believe, She-Hulk is being made for a female superhero audience. That's it. I believe that it was made specifically for that purpose.
Yeah, it was made for like the Ally McBeal audience.
No. I believe Ally McBeal was more middle of the road. It was made for the Sex and the City young woman audience.
That adds up.
Yeah,
I have never been able to get through a single episode of Sex and the City. I've tried like.
There's the reason. If this girl wasn't the Hulk, you wouldn't be watching the show either.
That's a good point. All right, so we open up with a little recap from last week because she is being sued by Tatiana, who has trademarked or copywritten, or one of the two, trademarked the name She-Hulk. And she's selling like goods and merchandise with She-Hulk's trademark. This is Tatiana, played by, I just forgot her name again. Anyway, she's awesome.
Jamil.
Yes, Jamil. She's actually a great actress. And this whole sequence is actually pretty fun because it showed the vapid, nonsense behind mostly it's Instagrammers and social whatever. And there's a scene coming up where she's looking at like 14 versions of the same exact thing, but they have slightly different names.
Yeah.
And she says exactly what I think the whole time. Like, do you need all those? Can't one of those do the same thing? So I get it. And she continues to be a fun part of the show, to be fair.
Yeah, Tatiana Maslany is not the problem with She-Hulk, 100%.
No, which is, it's surprising. It's so surprising to me that the main character is actually liked, like she's where she works. It's other parts of it that feels so like forced,
Yeah, it's just the tone of it. It's like the tone. It's like the going to get her superhero dress made, the interactions between the characters. They're just so CW-ish, I guess is the right word.
Yeah. Very
like there's
dramatic.
This young person tilt to it. And I get it. Look, Disney Plus is catering to the young, and this has like young person vibes all over it. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right. But I legitimately laughed at this line when Tatiana said, "I'm sorry, little child, but the line starts back there."
It's hilarious. I mean, there's some funny parts in it. No
pretty
doubt.
funny parts, bro. And Jamil's hilarious.
And Jamil's great. I love her, Jamila. And even this actress here, Ginger Gonzaga, who plays Nikki. I mean, she's got her moments. That actress right there.
Yeah. She generally annoys me, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I was really glad there was no Wong in this episode. I was getting a little bit over-Wonged.
Oh, were you Wonged out?
I was Wonged out, bro.
Interesting.
I was a little bit too much Wonger. I'm glad that party girl didn't show up again for another episode. She needs to be like a flavor, a sprinkling.
Oh yeah, she's paprika, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be
bring
careful.
her in. Yeah. But this guy kind of was interesting.
So he's a bro feminist. He's like a bro feminist, right? Feminist bro.
Yes, yeah. I don't know how to put it, but he was different.
Like he's into sneakers, and he's
Didn't we call those guys like weren't they called like yuppies? And then no, they were yuppies in the 80s, but they were called what? What were those guys called? Like gosh dang it, I can't remember. There was recently a name for guys like this, like that were really like
they had like the pop collar and all that.
Yeah, I can't remember what they called. Maybe somebody in the chat can
Chad.
Now we call them Chads. Yeah,
I feel like all of their names are Chad, or Bryson, or Tristan.
Tristan, stop. Just stop. Eventually, you get to Shane. I'll be like, what?
So he's asking for a favor. He wants to get some sneakers. She asks him for a favor. How can he hook her up with some of the fashion underworld? You know what's really funny? I hate to go on these side stories, but I worked in the fashion industry in Los Angeles for like 4 or 5 years, right? And it was in the fashion district. And a lot of this is actually pretty accurate. I'm not saying there's hidden, compartments or whatever, but they literally have like a falafel restaurant, and behind it is a giant warehouse where they're selling off-price Gucci or whatever.
Right.
And when you literally walk in and you have to knock and look at a camera, and it's the same exact thing. It's very accurate, actually.
I actually love what happens here, where they go in the back and he's got the Avengers or Avengers.
Oh yeah. The
products.
The counterfeit stuff. Yeah.
That was great.
Mel said Thad or Tad, and Sean said mansexual.
I'll take it.
Whatever it is. I mean, he's still sort of a fun character, if I'm getting honest. And this was cool. All the counterfeit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Look
at that! Look at those off-brand characters.
And look at
that's great.
You know what? They're so smart, Disney, because if someone had already done this, they now just trademarked it.
I know, but nobody's gonna buy that crap. I mean, now they might buy it because it's a funny offshoot of this. But before this, nobody's buying an Avengers shirt. Right?
I don't know. I sort of want to buy this.
Well, now you do because of the situation. But like yesterday, you wouldn't have wanted to buy that.
I don't know. I think it's funny. I might have yesterday.
Yeah.
I like how there's no stars on his shield. Instead it's the bald eagle.
He's like, I got Avengers. I got Avengers.
That's great. And then he's holding the shield. It's funny, man. It's really
all
funny.
Dressed up goofy, but it is. But look at this is a great example. But it's still tailored towards a young-minded audience.
Yes,
and that's where it loses me a little bit, even though it's mildly entertaining. And look, honestly, I can tolerate it for 6 minutes, which is the length of the show.
This is pretty much how long it is.
But if it was a 48-minute show, I would have been gone a long time ago. So maybe that's the magic.
Yeah. Every time I see her boss talking to her,
this was great.
I think that's exactly how Shane's reaction the entire time he's watching this. Is like,
yeah, it's like,
why are we doing this right now?
This whole scene, which is like 2 minutes of him doing this thing, is just it is TV magic for me.
It is. Why did I pass a billboard advertising?
This is how I feel.
She-Hulk booty boost smoothie.
It's just how it's perfect. That is me.
That is yeah. This actor is brilliant. There's really good parts of this show. That's what I'm talking about. I'm in this weird place where like there's parts of it they're so cringy and I just really dislike them, and other parts where I'm laughing my butt off. I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I told you I love Madison, but you're right. She's a strong spice. Just a little paprika goes a long way. Yeah. Smoked paprika.
I was actually doing great this whole episode until she went to. We'll get to it when she went to have a drink with this girl.
Oh yeah. By the way, I didn't like this character or this actress. I actually didn't even know that they were at odds. Like, did I miss something?
she's a comic. So now this is one of those elements that you talk about that you don't like, is you assume people understand the comic books. So from the comic books, this character is like this already. They have this relationship. Mallory Book, is that her name?
So no setup whatsoever, just like.
Well, a little bit. Last episode or 2 episodes ago, she like came in and she's like, the guy was like, "I don't want you here anyways," and she's like, "Fine, I'm not going to be here," and she walked out.
Yeah.
So not a lot.
I don't know. It seems like, I mean, I guess it makes sense, considering the audience, but like, it's just overtly hostile for no reason.
I guess that's her whole character.
Yeah, that's not a good character.
You think she's better than everybody else to some degree?
So this character is just like Madison, but the opposite. So like Madison, Party Girl Madison is like, okay, she's fun, but sprinkle her in, sparingly. This one is like, she's not fun, and she's also a strong spice. So like, maybe just not have her very much in it at all.
Well, and the purpose of her in this episode is that Jennifer Walters needs her. So Jennifer Walters as an individual has been just drugged through the mire. She doesn't know if she's She-Hulk, if she's Jennifer, and what she gets from this character at the very end gives her some sort of redemption for Jennifer, not for She-Hulk.
I see.
Yeah.
My successful line of She-Hulk foot exfoliants. So funny.
Great. She called her Shrek when she came in too, which I thought was funny.
So she's basically losing the case at this point. Now they go to this fashion guy who is apparently making the uniforms and whatnot for superheroes and Avengers or whatever.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it was just flavored towards a younger, weird demographic.
Yeah, it reminded me of that character from The Incredibles.
Well, it didn't remind me of anything. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's the same job, but it does not remind me of that character per se.
Right. I'm sorry, it's same job. Like obviously the character in Incredibles was much, much better.
Right.
And then she figures out that she can use her past her Tinder profile to show that she had adopted the She-Hulk moniker prior to the trademark. So.
Yeah, well, and what I liked about this is that all of these guys who end up getting up there, and I complained about this last episode or 2 episodes ago, they actually had a lot of kindness towards her. They didn't make these guys look worse, putting them on the stand. They actually had a little bit of, they fought for her.
Right, they did,
which was good.
This guy's really into the how much can you bench. All right. And this is when she goes to have drinks with crazy lady.
And this is the last unnecessary thing. So back to the drinks for a second. So this is what frustrates me about shows like this. When guys go out to drink and hang out, they don't just sit around and talking about girls the whole time and this about girls and that about girls. We don't just beat up on girls the whole time we're out hanging out. We talk about sports and other interesting things about that guys like, whatever, games, nerdy stuff, whatever.
I mean, I think I used to talk about how much I liked girls.
Well, I mean, granted, but when you're out doing this stuff, you don't necessarily talk about, but every time you got these girls together in this setting, they're just dissing on dudes. It's every time.
Yeah.
And it happens again here again. They talk about what douchebags guys are. And it's like, is that what girls talk? Maybe that's what girls talk about. I mean, they've got girls writing the show, but I just don't know why it's important here.
Yeah, it must be what they talk about. I have to assume that.
Why can't we talk about something else? Why does it always have to be downing dudes? And I know it's to rally girls together. That's why they do that. It's like all the old sitcoms where the dads were constantly the joke, the butt of all the jokes.
Right.
To rally around.
Did you ever see that commercial where the guy wanted guacamole, so he pulls the blender out and he just puts like the whole avocado in there, and it's just spinning like crazy. He's like,
no.
It's like they're so stupid they don't even know they have to peel the avocado or cut it or whatever.
So there's they could have left that out. The episode probably would have been fine, but they just had to take that opportunity to punch some dude in the face.
Yeah, you're right. And then she goes to get her clothes and blah blah blah. There is a really cool moment here where he I'll back it up a little bit, where they reveal that it looks like there's going to be a Daredevil crossover. Boom.
Yeah, he's actually in 4 episodes of the show. So this is Daredevil's helmet, and what's interesting is it kind of actually helps us solve some MCU canon as to why at the end of the Netflix show, the character's headpiece didn't look right. Apparently, it's been being created or whatever.
Oh, I see.
So it makes that connection.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I thought when I first saw the announcement for this, I was like, if that character from the Netflix show exists in this universe, which if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist, neither should he. But if he does, then if he doesn't show up as a lawyer on the lawyer show, that's a huge miss.
Yeah. Right. And they will obviously do that. So
again, though, none of the Netflix shows should be canon.
You're right. Good point.
Drives me nuts. All right. And that's about it. That's it. That
was it.
Thing.
All 5 minutes of it. And then we were robbed. We had to sit through the entire art ending without an additional special ending at the end.
Yeah, I got totally bamboozled myself. I was like, "Yo, what? Did I miss it?"
I had to watch 2.5 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. I actually I lied. I fast forwarded.
Wow, good for you. Not cool, guys. All right, well, that's it. Let us know what you guys thought about this latest episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. And on the way down to the comment section to show us how much you bench, hit the subscribe button and the like button. All right, that's it.
All right.
Moving on.
What do we got going over here? Thursday Night Football is starting. What?
Yeah, let me check that real quick before we do this last thing.
Holy cow. Listen, guys. Let me just tell you. I got some money on this game tonight. Okay.
Oh, you do?
I do. I got $3 on it. And I'm really excited. I'm actually doing the DraftKings thing.
Oh, so you're cheating on our football draft apparently.
Well, I'm not gonna make any money on our football draft.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, you got it. Oh, you got it here. So you got Chris. Chris is in here.
So Mr. McGiblets Wesley Crushers this week is going up against.
Click over here on the right.
Mad
right.
Cows.
The Mad Cows. Who's the Mad Cows? Let's see if we got a name behind it. It's Cody. I don't think he's watching right now. So you're playing Cody this week.
No offense, guys, but can we get some cooler names here? Okay, Mr. McGiblets Wesley Crushers. Come on, guys.
What's the Mr. McGiblets? I get the Wesley Crushers.
Mr. McGiblets from the show The League. I didn't watch that. It's the mascot from The League.
I never watched that show.
Mr. McGiblets. Yes.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, so you used another fantasy of. Okay, that makes sense. You used a TV fantasy football thing too. Yeah.
TV fantasy and Wesley Crushers, like the Wesley Crushers. Get it? Like they're crushing. Okay. Why am I explaining this?
No, I get it. So Chris is playing. Let's see, Chris here. He says who is the bot team? Well, the bot team is now taken by an actual person called the Dork Knights. And I would argue that they have the best team on paper because they got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback and a few different people.
Oh, that's Danny the Dork Knight.
Danny the Dork Knight. He's never played fantasy football, and he's probably going to do really well. So congrats to all you 1-0 guys, everybody who won last week, including Brian and Chris.
My God. I did horrible. You did better than me. What are you talking about?
No, you won. What are you talking about?
No.
You're 1-0. I'm 0-1. You beat me.
Oh, I see. How do I have less points than you do?
You don't. Are you talking about for this week?
I'm stupid. I'll look at this.
Okay, so no, it's showing you potentially what you might get based on what they believe is going to happen.
That's really
You're looking at the week 2 matchup.
I see.
And you're right. Mad Cows, you just talk garbage about their name. They on paper, they're pounding you this week, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, well, that's on paper, bro. Okay. Mr. McGiblet's Wesley Crushers are ready to play.
Wait, so you of foosball. So Chris is you of foosball, and he's playing. Yeah, he's playing the Dork Knights this week. Yeah, he's got a great team, man. He's got Jefferson from Minnesota, Diggs. I don't know how he ended up all these great players. The computer picked all these players for that team.
I made the mistake of picking my players. I should let the computer do it. All right.
Maybe.
Move on. All right, guys, you ready for the final segment, and AKA the most anticipated segment of the show? Ready?
Superman Watch 2022.
This is Superman Watch 2022, and we have news again. Apparently, every week we have news about Henry Cavill's Superman. Look, we're not like searching for this. It's literally popping up in our feed. It's like the first thing that comes up every time. So, and now the news this week is apparently Henry Cavill is reportedly all in as Superman for several projects, including the long-awaited sequel to Man of Steel. Holy crap.
All right, I hope so. I mean, I want it to be true.
What does this mean, Shane? Talk to me.
What does it mean? I mean, it doesn't officially mean anything because it's coming from Bounding Into Comics.
Okay.
And it looks here as if, according to Sil Abdul,
this guy
now
again.
This is the person we were talking about before.
This guy gets all the scoops. So someone did comment and say that apparently he's been right on every previous scoop, and that's why he's trusted.
Well, that's why they're believing him. So Sil Abdul says that we can expect to see more of Cavill after his cameo in Black Adam is said and done. He said the Witcher actor is all in for multiple appearances as Superman that will change or even perhaps restore the direction of the DCU.
Oh my God! When he said like after his reported cameo in Black Adam is said and done,
yeah,
like blood literally rushed from my head to my nether regions.
Your nether regions?
Yeah.
The rumor mimics an older scoop that held Cavill Superman was going to film a role similar to the Hulk in the MCU, guest starring in other films without receiving his own. Fortunately, David Zaslav seemingly thinks he can do better.
Excuse me. The Zazman!
Although it was strongly hinted that an announcement was going to be made at San Diego Comic-Con with special appearance by Cavill, but it didn't happen. So Abdul says the reason is Warner Brothers and Zaslav are waiting for the right moment.
I want to know, did Abdul say that was going to happen?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I got this thing like, okay, so you've been right on every scoop or every previous scoop. But what if you're just predicting everything?
Well, are all your scoops right, or are you right? I don't know. You'd have to look into that.
Yeah. Says
apparently he previously scooped that Cavill had a costume fitting this past summer, followed by filming the scene in Black Adam, and that the contract may have been worked out.
Interesting. Some retooling is going on, particularly where the delayed Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is concerned. But it's also going to affect the Flash in ways that are unknown beyond speculation relating to Batman and possibly Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Abdul previously scooped it. Oh, you already said that. It's interesting because I don't think Shazam, Fury of the Gods fits into any of this stuff. Like it's entirely on its own.
Well, I don't like this line here. This plan, which seemingly factors in Blue Beetle, may either start in earnest with Black Adam or be held off until after The Flash. That's a really big window of time.
Hey, hold up. Which seemingly factors in Blue Beetle may either start in earnest tomorrow or next year.
Or 5 years from now.
Or maybe 5 years from now. Like, I mean,
I don't like that.
That's like psychics do that same thing where they're like,
yes,
they give you such a large window. Like, okay, yeah, so you're probably gonna be right, but you have an 87% chance of being right. Right.
This is my favorite comment right here from this story. Henry Cavill is either in or out. Amber Heard is either in or out. Ezra Miller is either in or out. Zack Snyder is either in or out. Ben Affleck is either in or out. Michael Keaton is either in or out. Emilia Clarke is either in or out. I detect a trend here. Confirmations, please.
Yeah, so I said the same thing last week, though. I was like, okay, so why is everyone just trusting this? Like, and now Bounty in the comics? Like, bro, Bounty in the comics, we know Bounty in the comics isn't bullcrap. Like, we've seen their stuff. Like, they go out of their way to be legit. So, like, why?
Well, I mean, they are reporting what somebody else reported, though, and that's the danger of doing that. I mean, if Abdullah is right, Sil Abdul, if this person's correct, then you got the scoop. So they're giving it. The thing at least Bounding in the comics is doing, and I'm grateful for this, is that they're not owning this. They're saying according to this person. Now the question is how much credibility do you have if Sil is wrong?
Right.
So
unlike the previous
report,
rag who literally just like owned it straight up.
Right.
This is what Sil said.
Reiterated. Cavill likely signed a contract already, and he likened it to in the Facebook movie when Andrew Garfield was with Jesse Eisenberg, and the Garfield character says, "I'm coming back, not for 30%, I'm coming back for everything," and that's how he's saying with Cavill. Cavill signed this contract for everything. What does that mean? Right? There's layers to this, y'all. It's layered, right? There's layers to this.
I still don't understand. But
he doesn't breed a lot of confidence to me.
No, he doesn't. I don't.
And he's being reported, though, by lots of people.
By lots of people. By a lot of people, including Bounty in the comics.
So how many followers, how many subscribers does he have on YouTube?
He has 3,800.
3,800 subscribers. That's highly, highly questionable.
Yeah, I said the
like
same
if you're a
thing.
source of information, you would have a lot of people want to be subscribing to you.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
I don't know. Anyways, I hope it's true. Hope he's right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, October is coming up really quick, and on my birthday, I have rented a theater, and I will be watching Black Adam.
Let me tell you something. If Henry Cavill is not at the end of Black Adam, people are going to be looking for Sil. Like, they're going to look for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to disappear. If Henry is not in that movie, he needs to disappear. Go to South America or something, man, because people will be looking for you.
Pop up on another channel covering Marvel or something with a completely different name. Oh, all right, man. All right, well, that's it. Hit the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. Are you guys stoked for Black Adam, or are you just, or at this point you just care about seeing that cameo? Let us know in the comment section below, and we are moving on. And that is all we have today, Shane.
What?
Yeah. Do you want to say anything to these fine folks?
Yes, I do. Apologize for yawning. I just want to tell you guys.
Apparently, you're tired. So,
well, it's I need some air. I need a break. I'm in the cave. It's time to breathe a little bit. But listen, thank you guys so much for getting us to 100,000 subscribers. Honestly, it's a goal that Brian and I had from the beginning, but it's kind of a goal that we were like, is that ever going to happen?
Right.
And the fact that it has is because you guys show up every week. And let me tell you something. There are some of you guys that show up every single week, and you know who you are. And we appreciate you keeping this thing burning no matter what all the time. We're here for you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And this live stream was for all of you. So thank you.
And I share the same sentiments. Archmage says Henry Cavill is confirmed to play Superman in Star Trek 4.
I'll buy that for $1.
Expert.
Only Sil said it.
expert callback because we all know Star Trek 4 isn't happening.
Wait, no, that's not true. That's not true.
We don't know for sure.
Star Wars, if he would have said Star Wars Rogue Squadron, that would have been good.
Yeah. Darth Maul, Black Adam looks good. Last trailer excited me. Same here. It definitely excited me. Okay, folks, I share what Shane said. I'm right there with him, ditto. Thank you so much for being here, for supporting us, for subscribing, for being members, all that stuff. Please, if you want to become a member and watch, because we don't normally do this. This is special for the 100K milestone. But the members section gets this every week. We do reviews, and we do the second half of our regular show every week here. So if you like this, if you're interested in this kind of content, then hit that join button and join and come into the members section. The water's warm. Also, you can go over to the Popcast Live, youtube.com/the Popcast Live, and that is where we do a lot of our live shows. And that's it.
Thank you.
So
hope you guys have a great week, and for you members, we'll see you tomorrow because we'll be reviewing The Rings of Power, episode 4.
That said, I'm gonna go out.
Is what I would say if I was a complete